It's an SEC showdown. It's an SEC showdown. Alabama, LSU, the Home Depot College Football on CBS. Welcome to Death Valley. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide against the LSU Tigers. And here comes LSU. It is very crowded in the SEC West. Alabama or LSU, should they win out, could find themselves in the SEC title game next month in Atlanta. And hi, everybody. I'm Craig Bullerjack. Welcome to Death Valley. The big story in college football this week, of course, centers around Alabama, and the headlines spell it out. We go to Wednesday, the mark of the end of the Mike DuBose era at Alabama, and has agreed, though, to finish out this season, and here's why.
Because I love this football team. I love these young men. I'm committed to them, and I am committed to this university. Now, had the University of Alabama said, we don't want you to coach, then that would have been a different situation. But that's not what Mal asked me to do. He said he was going to make a change at the end of the year and wanted us to continue to coach him through the season. If we were to go to the SEC's championship game, we'll be there. If we were to go to a bowl game after that, we would be there. But when that last game is played, then we'll pack up and do something differently.
I want to welcome in Dean Blevins. And Dean, it has been a very interesting week, to say the least, in Tuscaloosa. Coach DuBose is out, and you have to wonder what type of effect it's going to have on this team today.
Well, the Tide will roll. The question is, will the Tide roll over LSU, or will the Tide just roll over? You know, I've seen it go both ways. Sometimes kids come out and they play with passion, they play with pride for a coach like this. Sometimes, though, they're worn down by all the distractions, and they can't focus, and they can't stay totally committed. We'll find out. More times than not, teams struggle in this situation.
You're talking about LSU, new coach this year. Nick Saban has done marvelous things in a short period of time, and they've got the fans here in Baton Rouge talking and believing again.
Yeah, these guys down the south like that guy from the north. Nick Saban's popular, and so has Josh Booty become popular once again. The talented quarterback was mistake-prone early in the season. Look at the interceptions, the touchdowns. The last 2 weeks, though, he's thrown 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He is terrifically talented, a wonderful NFL arm. He says he's going to make better decisions today.
Nick Saban, in his first year as a head coach at LSU, took over for Jerry DiNardo. Saban spent 5 seasons, Michigan State, much success, 4 bowl games, and a win today. LSU becomes bowl eligible. Weather here in Baton Rouge, 80 degrees at game time, high humidity, 62%, partly cloudy is the forecast. And we look at the series between these two teams. It goes way back to 1895. LSU's last home win against Alabama, 1969. A man named Richard Nixon was in the White House.
It has been a while, and although LSU, the players say that they aren't really making a big deal about it, and the coaches say they aren't, every player we talked to was well aware of how long it has been since they have beaten the Crimson Tide here in Baton Rouge.
Underway in Death Valley. Davis at the goal line. Breaks the tackle, 25-30. Davis at the 40. To the 45. And the tackle by Neil Thomas, who kicked off for Alabama.
Well, the return game for LSU has been much better today. The wedge forming in the middle, and Davis has been a terrific return man. Finds the seam up the gut, and anytime the kicker makes the tackle on the opening kickoff, it is bad news for the kicking team.
46-yard return. Josh Booty spent 5 years in the Florida Marlins minor league system. Tremendous arm, but the word is still trying to manage this football team. He manages well there as he finds his favorite target in Josh Reed. First down, Tigers. Darius Gilbert made the tackle for Bama. Let's set that LSU offense. It's Tommy Banks and Toefield in the backfield. Myers, Robinson, and the tight end is Robert Royal. Up front, Reed, Sale, Williams, Pierce, and Brandon Winey. A 16-yard pass play. And it's 1st and 10, Tigers at the 38-yard line of Alabama. Booty the handoff. Straight ahead, LeBrandon Tofield, redshirt freshman. Defensively for Alabama this afternoon. Up front, Arias Monroe, along with Smith, Johnson, and the right end, Kenny King. Linebackers, Gilbert, Victor Ellis, and Salim Rashid. Secondary, Milo Lewis. Connie Brown gets the start at the free safety spot. Marcus Spencer and Gerald Dixon.
And there's the defensive coordinator, Ellis Johnson, saying this week we've got to focus on the kids. LSU wanting to come out on top of Alabama early and get the crowd into this one.
Tofield gets the carry after the 4 wide receivers spread. So LSU, Dean, that time spreading out Alabama and gave the ball to Tofield.
Well, I think what they're wanting to do here early is not only take a lead to get the crowd into it and try to beat down that question mark that's there in the minds of the Alabama players for the situation, but they want to spread the field and then see if Alabama can even get a pass rush on their quarterback. They've not done that real well this season.
LSU coming off an overtime win against Mississippi State 2 weeks ago. They've had some time to rest. 45-38 over Jackie Sherrill and his Bulldogs. Booty to throw to the far side, and a nice catch by Darrell Myers. Bailey, Kelf Bailey, the corner, made the tackle. Myers set that SEC freshman record a year ago, Dean, with 64 catches, 854 yards. And that's number 25 here in the year 2000.
Well, this kid, Booty, has as good an arm as I have seen in college football this year. And we saw Michael Vick last week.
The offense only had 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So take the reception back, and it'll be 3rd down and 13. Good look at Nick Saban in his first year. And on the other side, Mike Dubose. The story broke around Monday afternoon and then really hit the headlines Tuesday and Wednesday. And we had a nice talk with Coach Mike Dubose, who's trying to handle this situation. Dean, he handled it with class with us, but yet told us, I didn't resign. I was fired.
He was straightforward about it, very much so. He also said, though, that I'm the same coach who won the SEC championship.
3rd down and 13, 2-1 on the play clock. Booty from the shotgun, steps up and throws over the middle, incomplete. Through the hands of Royal, his tight end.
Good job by Alabama recovering here, because after the big kickoff, the big first play of the game, Alabama back on its heels, this crowd dying to get into the game, and they were able to hold. They needed the penalty to help them, but putting them in 3rd and long, they were able to hold off LSU.
Donnie Jones comes in with a 40.8-yard average. A freshman. Millens back to receive.
Jones has been an outstanding kicker for LSU, and Millens, you have a look there. He was the return man on the first time Alabama touched the ball this season. Millens goes the distance against UCLA, and since then he hasn't played well, and Alabama hasn't either.
Jones, the left footer, gets it up high, takes a Alabama bounce. Touched back, and so the Crimson Tide will get their first look at the 20-yard line. Timeout in Baton Rouge, Alabama, LSU, and we'll be back.
With more of the hottest new releases guaranteed, nobody brings home the magic of the movies like Blockbuster.
Rent Frequency this week at Blockbuster. A voice from the past.
Dad?
A warning from the future.
Mom's gonna be murdered.
A man out of time. Frequency, starring Dennis Quaid. Rated PG-13. Guaranteed on VHS and available on DVD this week at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best. And right now, get free shipping on any Major League Baseball or World Series gear. MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
John Burgess started this company in a second-floor bedroom.
9 months later, it looks like a good idea.
Jeannie Gagner and Alan Robinson, AXA Advisors.
With new wealth came new responsibility for John and his employees.
We provided key man insurance and estate planning for him.
Deferred compensation and 401ks for his people.
AXA Advisors helps business owners succeed.
It's not just about making it.
It's about making it last.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
All right, who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I figured out how to link up 23 Bradleys, 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, 4 medevac units, and 7,000 troops on the move. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, Army Reserve.
A letter marked urgent usually means someone is in urgent need of your money, and no one plays that game better than politicians. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Welcome back, Death Valley, and there's a reason for that. 91,000 strong. The fourth largest stadium in college football Division I.
Yeah, that and the humidity.
Alabama, first carry of the day. Ahmad Galloway gets the carry. Quarterbacking for Alabama, Andrew Zhao, running the show since the knee injury deemed to Tyler Watts about 3 weeks ago. Zhao's been struggling through 4 interceptions last week in that loss to Central Florida. Over 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, you're right, though. His problems, 10 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. He has potential, has a cannon for an arm, and talk about a flash young man. This guy's it.
Second down 4 in the option. Zhao tucks it and runs. Brady James makes a stop. Offensively for Alabama, Bohannon gets the start at fullback. Galloway, tailback. Carter, Millens, and Draper. Your wide receivers and tight ends. Up front is Ellington, Redmill, Hogan, Alexander, and Cuthbert.
Alabama looking to get some running game going early. They must protect the quarterback, and I don't really think they can beat LSU if they have over a couple of turnovers. They really have to limit the turnovers this afternoon, and that really speaks to the interception issue. Motion.
Flags are down. Galloway got the carry, tackled by Trev Falk.
That's motion. 65 Dante Ellington of Alabama getting his 360-pound body in motion.
Steve Landis, our referee.
Before the ball was snapped, false start by the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, defensively for LSU, it's Allen Barnes, Levias, and Green. Linebackers very good. Jeremy Lawrence, Falk, and Brady James. In the secondary of Booker, Clark, Lionel Thomas, and Robert Davis.
Ryan Clark, free safety 2. Keep an eye on him. And Alabama, almost 8 penalties per game this year. You shouldn't have motion penalties this late in the season.
From the eye, Val handoff, straight ahead football. Galloway steady at the tailback spot. Stopped around the 27 by Jeremy Lawrence.
Really like these linebackers for LSU. I mean, you talk about some young, talented, speedy linebackers. You got to look there at Jeremy Lawrence, really a flamboyant young guy, great personality. And Trev Falk and Brady James, best friends, number 7 and 11. They call them 7-11, don't they?
7-11.
Yeah.
Open 24 hours a day. 2nd and 13. Alabama really spreading things out. 5 wide receivers on 2nd and 13. Antonio Carter in motion from the shotgun. Zhao throws a slant, caught with the one hand, and then it was a swarming defense by LSU. Well, Dean, let's take a look at our Exxon virtual playbook.
Well, perfect timing, because the point is going to be that Millens needs to be more involved. The Alabama struggled in running plays and executing. Sometimes they get Freddie back at quarterback in the shotgun, and they get quick to the line of scrimmage so no one will see it. Snap comes to Millens. He simply runs a quarterback sweep. Easy to execute, usually picks up positive yardage.
Clock running, coming up on the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. 3rd and 13, Alabama. Again, Zhao from the shotgun. Low snap. Zhao under pressure. Sidestep. Still looking downfield. Hits from the blind side. And it's picked off at the 38. Flags are down.
Well, there's a lot going on here.
Hook fin.
They finally call it, Craig. You had the call right. I don't think the official called it until very late because, of course, the offensive player, if it's a jump ball, wins that. But you were correct in calling it LSU ball.
The offense did not have but 6 men on the line. That penalty's declined. First down.
Well, Chad Lavallee really bearing down on Andrew Zhao.
And here's the problem that I see most about Andrew Zhao. He has enough time. Now he buys a little bit. Good, strong player. Buys a little time. Get rid of it. Get it out of there. But he hangs on, tries to force a play, and that's where his interceptions have been coming this year, and that's what's killing Alabama.
First interception of the season for hook fin for Zhao. Dean, that's his 6th straight game with a pick. 10 in his last 6 contests. LSU back to the ground. Tofield. For an update on Syracuse and West Virginia, here's Tim Brando.
All right, Craig, thanks. You know, a back-and-forth game all afternoon long at Mountaineer Field. And finally, R.J. Anderson to Malik Campbell. This is the game winner, culminating an 84-play drive. They win it 31-27. Remember, Syracuse hosts Miami in the Carrier Dome in 2 weeks. Back to Craig and Dean.
Boy, Tim, huge win for Paul Pasqualoni. Been a very difficult year for the Orangemen.
Well, it has, and there you see their numbers. That Virginia Tech slipping down, Syracuse trying to go up, and Syracuse has a good game next week.
Off the fingertips of Josh Reed, who is definitely Booty's favorite target with 48 receptions coming into this afternoon's game. And he's a converted running back who goes wide out, and he told us, you know what, it works just fine for me because he is so tough, Dean, after the catch.
I love the idea of getting a running back in that position if he's smart enough to know how to run routes, to read routes, and to catch the ball. This guy can. He is a terrific football player, 25.
3rd down and 8. Josh Booty, the former minor leaguer, pedals back from the shotgun, throws over the middle, incomplete. Had a good look right on the hands, but incomplete.
Back briefly to that Big East thought. Miami, so impressive today. It looks like they're on a roll. They have Syracuse yet to go. So that would probably be the only stumbling block between them and a possible chance at a national championship. Alabama defense 2 times in a row, Craig, stepping up when they need to.
Well, Jones back to punt. His first kick covered 41 yards. Millens back to receive. Straight up. Millens under the ball. A fair catch at the 16.
That's a better punt than the one before, although the yardage won't appear that way.
21 yards. We'll come back to Baton Rouge. Scoreless, Alabama and LSU.
The fact that I'm responsible for the upbringing of another human being is utterly ridiculous. How did this happen? Suddenly, I'm the one saying, don't touch the cookie on the ground. When I'm really thinking, 5-second rule. That cookie just hit the ground. That cookie is still good.
In your possessions since you packed them. Did you know your company's stock just jumped 13%?
No.
Did you know Geltman got food poisoning and can't make the meeting?
What?
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to check your email before you board.
How? Here. It's the Sprint PCS Wireless Web for Business. You can access your company's network, use email, share information in real time. And the calls are clear.
Thanks.
Thank him.
The Sprint PCS Clear Wireless Workplace. Because business can't wait.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen, Exxon, Sprint PCS, and by the Home Depot.
Welcome back to Baton Rouge. Sellout crowd here in Death Valley. Over 91,000 to watch Alabama and LSU. 8:47 left in the first quarter. Alabama rolls in at 3-5. Coming off a pair of straight losses at Tennessee, Central Florida. LSU with a pair of wins against Kentucky and Mississippi State. Second offensive series for Alabama. Zhao underneath, I formation. Boy, LSU defensively, Dean, really stringing it out.
Well, they do, and Trev Falk, who is a true inside linebacker. He's a true Mike player. He shows why he is right there. Nose for the football. And he got that one in the backfield. Alabama, though, Craig, doing a good job here early in hanging in there. I think the longer they are in this game, or even could take a lead, yes, the much better chance they will have of making it a game and winning the game.
LSU showing blitz. Zhao on the rollout. Throws downfield. Soft rainbow. Nearly picked. Flags come out. Boy, collision now around the 45-yard line. Thomas, the strong safety.
Well, that'll be an interference call, surely, where it was thrown. And I think it'll go against LSU as Millens was up the boundary, had double coverage, and Zhao had an open receiver, but elected to go to Freddie nonetheless.
Several flags here early, and once again, we'll listen in. Here's Steve Landis.
Pass interference. The defense. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. First down.
Well, we'll take a look at it from the end zone, and over the top, Thomas almost makes the interception. I did not see anything. We'll pick it up a little bit earlier.
Well, did Booker maybe run up his back? I don't know, before the camera shot, maybe.
Unless something else happened, and the crowd here does not hear our play-by-play, they actually see a picture, and that's why they're booing. I would agree with their reaction based on what we saw. 15-yard penalty in college ball.
Low snap given to Galloway. For an update on Iowa and Penn State, back to New York, and here's Tim.
All right, Craig, another powerhouse program that's really struggled. Penn State. Rashard Casey's pass is picked in the second overtime. Iowa wins it. 4-6 for Joe Paterno. He cannot tie Bear Bryant for the Division 1A all-time win record until next year.
I was about to say just absolutely unbelievable, but it's happened all year, ever since the first time we saw them when Pitt laid it on, 13-0. Just a miserable year in Happy Valley. Iowa winning at Penn State.
Antonio Carter in motion. Zhao play action on the rollout. Andrew Zhao throws deep ball up for grabs, and Cotton dropped incomplete. Now inside the 20.
That's interference.
Sam Collins, the intended receiver, and down on coverage was Robert Davis.
Well, let's take a look at Davis and Collins. Collins, the receiver. Now, tell me if he gets balls in the air, there was contact made. Now, there's the penalty. You know, listening to that score out of Happy Valley, you know, we're talking about how crazy that was. That's, I guess, no crazier than Central Florida winning last week at Alabama.
On homecoming.
Joe Paul still has a job.
Joe Paul still does have a job.
And he should.
5 wide receivers set, 3rd down and 9. Zhao pumps. Zhao runs and hits a wall. Driven back. Will spot the football at the 29, and it's Trev Falk once again. the middle linebacker, number 7. He wears 7 because he's got 7 brothers and sisters.
Yeah, great story. Watch 7-11 full-out blitz. Do a decent job of picking it up, but at Craters and Zhao, just not many good things happen for Alabama when Andrew Zhao is forced to scramble.
Falk, the cousin to LSU's all-time leading rusher, Kevin Falk. The bloodlines obviously run very deep.
Falk, a mature young guy. He is a guy that is the chaplain of the fraternity. He leads the prayer sessions they have here on campus, and really impressed with our meeting with him earlier this week.
Boy, off the foot and takes a right angle bounce at the 49.
Yeah, he's been a pretty good punter.
29 one-yard kick. LSU will have it, and good field position when we come back.
Guaranteed low prices at the Home Depot mean that you can be confident that you're going to walk into our store and find the best price in town.
If we find a better price anywhere else, we'll beat that price with no questions asked.
We will match it and then beat it. That's our guarantee, day in and day out.
Everybody says they got the lowest price.
Not only do we have the guaranteed low price, we also have the knowledgeable salespeople on the floor to help you.
We want to be the best price, the best customer service, the best quality product. We want to have the best of everything.
You would be out of your mind if you shop someplace else.
Back in Baton Rouge, Alabama, LSU. Tigers will start right at midfield.
Big series, I think, for LSU. They've had it on a short field this entire first quarter. They have 0 points to show for it.
Tofield ran a few times for LSU. Now they hand off to Dominic Davis, a sophomore, tackled by Gilbert.
Hey, Craig, you know that no booing policy they instituted up in Happy Valley?
Yeah.
Wonder how that worked today.
I doubt it didn't work.
Ooh.
A pickup of 2 for Davis, 2nd down and 8.
What a game to have right after you institute that.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Bama showing blitz, and they bring them. Josh Reed, maybe a yard. Well, tomorrow, the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Jim Nance and the guys. And then don't forget, Armin Katayan. This will be tremendous. Goes behind the scenes with the Broncos' Bill Romanowski for a rare look at the linebacker's obsession with getting ready to play on game day. He'll also answer charges about his controversial conduct, both on and off the field. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, I always like his reports. And Romanowski is a pretty straightforward guy, too.
He's made plenty of headlines of late. It will be an interesting conversation.
Good defense so far by Alabama.
3rd down and 10. Booty from the shotgun. Throws over the middle and incomplete. Boy, right into the hands of Jarrell Myers. And that brings up 4th down. You know, Mike DuBose told us, stay in this game early. He likes his chances.
Well, he needs Josh Booty to do what he does here, Craig, for their chances to be good. Josh has enough time there. He has an open receiver. He has a very good arm, a big league arm, a very accurate arm, but that time overthrows the receiver and loses a 3rd down conversion. That was a gimme.
3rd punt for Donnie Jones, averaging 30 yards a kick. The punt to Millens. This one off his foot, angling to the far sideline.
You shank, I shank.
Boy, out of bounds at the 34. Not a punting clinic so far in the first quarter here.
All golfers look the other way.
Timeout, 4:41 left. That one covered 16. We'll be back.
This is Fred. Let's pretend Fred is a file on your computer. He's a thesis you've worked on for 2 years. You're very proud of Fred. Computer virus has struck. There goes Fred. Darn. Look, it's the backup copy of Fred you saved on an iOmega zip disk. Welcome back, Fred. Zip it. Zip it.
Imagine blue on 10 cups of coffee. Vortex.
A new color for the new Beetle.
Interest in the Yellow Pages falling? Now there's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions, locally and nationally. So before you pick up a Yellow Pages, drop in on us instead. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
I'll be telling you which teams are headed uptown and which teams are headed downtown.
I'll tell you why he's wrong.
4:39 left, opening quarter here in Baton Rouge, Alabama and LSU.
Well, Andrew Zhao needs to make some good decisions. When he has problems throwing the football for Alabama, which they have become a school that really likes to throw it, no matter where they are on the field, he has a tendency to guide the ball. No quarterback can throw a football accurately or with zip when you guide it.
Touchdown's tough to come by through the air for Zhao. Flags again down, throws incomplete.
Well, our 360-pound left tackle, Dante Ellington, with a lot of potential, has jumped off twice now. And he has big shoes to fill because he's replaced Chris Samuels, the superstar there for Alabama, who's now, of course, in the NFL. But that's inexcusable 2 times.
Before the snap, movement by the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I just don't understand why you can't understand the snap count and then go off on it. I don't want to be overly harsh, but you know, some things in football are difficult. That part should not be difficult.
First down and 15. Both teams flagged twice. Bohannon, the ball carrier. Andrew Zhao.
You know, we were talking about him guiding the football. Look at his statistics last year. He played better. This year his percentage is down. His yards are down. He hasn't had as many snaps, but his touchdowns down 3 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. And a lot of that has to do with not being patient and then guiding the ball. And I felt that before talking with him last night. And Craig, when we talked with him, that's exactly what he said was the problem.
You know, coaches will tell us, and Neil Callaway, the offensive coordinator, basically this: just step back and throw the football. You've got the talent to do so. You mentioned guiding, and right there again, tried to guide the football incomplete. For an update on Mississippi State and Kentucky, let's check in with Tim Brando.
All right, Craig, remember LSU owns the tiebreaker over Mississippi State, and Alabama will visit Mississippi State next week. Jared Lorenzen is hit here by Josh Morgan. It's picked up by Ivan Billy. Joe Lee Dunn's defense at it again, scoring touchdowns. Kentucky is on the Bulldogs 1 as we speak, but it's 28-9 Bulldogs back to Baton Rouge.
Tim, we need to have a scoring contest between Joe Lee Dunn's defense and Frank Beamer's defense.
There you are in the SEC West. Auburn on top, Bama, LSU. Tough season for Arkansas. Zhao, by the way, Dean, 1 of 4, no yards. 3rd down, 11.
Blitz, man-to-man, going deep.
Incomplete. Throws over the outstretched arms of Millens.
But they got the matchup that they wanted. They protected long enough for Zhao to get a good look. He threw a nice ball just a little too far. If you're going to miss on that throw, let it be too far. Close. You know, last night, Andrew Zhao, there's Mike DeVos right with him. Those two, when we visited with them, Andrew Zhao says, you know, our problem now is in talking to the younger kids. Some of our young kids talking about leaving, and that is not what Alabama wants to have happen.
Good high hanger. Davis hit. Ball's on the turf, covered up inside the 25. 42-yard kick.
Now there's a surprise, not seeing a yellow flag come because of the halo rule. 6 feet. That one very good. I think that is a very good no call. The halo rule is if you have the kicker or the return man and you just draw a circle around him. He's in the middle of the circle. 6-foot radius around. And that time it was pretty close, but I think that's a good call, and we will lose that halo rule, I predict, in the near future.
Right up the middle. Ooh, second effort. It's like a tide rolling. LeBrandon Tofield, a redshirt freshman out of Independence, Louisiana. Didn't play his senior year in high school because of knee surgery. And, Dean, it's an interesting comeback story. Tofield really playing for the first time in 2 years. Lost his mom, Ida, back on March 20th. And just before this game started, every game showed it. Rest in peace, Ida Tofield. Love always, LeBrandon Tofield, number 22.
I love this guy as a football player already. He's only a redshirt freshman, but what a neat young guy he is. And, you know, if you keep talking about neat kids, I think that's the best part of our job. Yeah. Getting to go out and see these great athletes, but a lot of these guys have great character. LeBrandon Tofield is one of them. He's playing with pain, and his pain is in his heart.
Woody going exclusively here on the shotgun to the sideline. It's caught. Close to the first down, but another flag down. Bailey in on the tackle on Jarrell Myers.
I couldn't see it as far as it is over there, as bad as my eyes are getting, but it's in the vicinity where it would seemingly be a face mask call. It's even money on a face mask.
5-yard face mask. Gets the defense, added to the end of the run. That will result in a first down.
Oh, your eyes are still about 20-30. Not bad.
I just saw where the position was on the field, because that's how you get your man if your man is making a great move. Jarrell Myers with a nice grab, but a terrific move to the inside, and he may have had a big gain had that not happened.
Adam Cox reaching out. Backup linebacker on the ground once again. Tofield. Well, test your sports knowledge. Play Aflac Trivia at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. 2-yard gain for Tofield. Very physical runner. He told us, you know, I can slash when I have to, but I'd rather run at you with my shoulder pad square, knock you down, and just keep on running.
Well, the best thing about Toe, as he goes by his friends, is that he can do everything there. He's got the speed to bounce outside and he can run over you.
Right there up the middle. Tofield first down. 44-yard line of Alabama. Boy, quick burst by the redshirt freshman, averaging 73 yards a game. Marcus Spencer made the tackle.
Yeah, nothing fancy here. Just open a little crease. That crease was bigger than little, and he was able to zip it up for 11 before he really had any contact. And he does prefer the contact. You know, he says, I'll try to outrun you if I have to, and I think I can make people miss me, but I would really prefer to be physical early in a game, because he thinks he can wear people down by the end of the day.
Well, they have to bring the chains out. That, in my opinion, not a good spot. Missed it by about a half a length of the football. 2:09 left in the first quarter. Nick Saban in his first year. What a turnaround performance here at LSU. You know, last year 2-8.
He'd like to duplicate what he did at Michigan State in his first year. One of their big opponents, of course, Michigan, and he upset the Wolverines in his first attempt. And he would love to. It would not be an upset because his team is a slight favorite here, but to beat Alabama with that streak on the line, having not won since '69.
Booty under center on 3rd and inches. Quarterback keeper, and Booty leans out around to the 44-yard line. Should be a first down. You know, Josh Booty is a tremendous talent, but Nick Saban told us he has to learn to take what the game gives him.
His success has come because he just tries to play within the offense, play within himself, make the other players on our team, on our offense, look good by delivering the ball where they can catch it and run with it, getting us in the right plays, being a better leader on the field. And I think that's helped him perform better.
Well, a player with phenomenal talent. He needs to learn to be a quarterback.
Tofield breaking tackle, still driving to the 34-yard line. Took a couple of crimson jerseys with him. Somebody lost a helmet. That's Antoine Odom. Connie Brown finally brought down Tofield.
When I say he needs to learn to be a quarterback, I'm sure the people in Shreveport are wondering how they could send me some emails. I really like this kid, Josh Booty. What a delightful guy, 25, a mature guy, and I think he's going to develop into a terrific player. But he admits, and his coaches say that, he's got to develop those quarterback skills where he doesn't force it. He is 25 years of age after playing Major League Baseball for a while, in the minors. But really, Craig, in experience terms, this is only his 14th game. It's like a 19-year-old.
Very few people remember 1993. Josh Booty was the National Player of the Year out of high school, Evangel High School. Here's a young man, Dean. Rewrote the record books. 11,700 yards passing, 126 touchdowns. Tremendous arm, as you mentioned. Goes to the minor leagues, the Florida Marlins. 5 years later, comes back, and here he is. He pumps once the end zone. Open, wide open. Josh Reed walks in, touchdown. Yard pass play. Booty and Reed. What a combination here in Baton Rouge as Josh Reed pulls down his 9th touchdown.
Well, he runs a short route thinking that Milo Lewis bites on it. That was set up by Patient. They knew that they were setting up Milo Lewis to bite on that out route. And that was an easy one for Booty.
Corbello kicks the point after. 7-0 LSU.
Running our own e-business suite, Oracle saved $1 billion in 1 year. How much will you save? Oracle. Software powers the internet.
What kind of a company are we? Like you, we sometimes wonder what might have been. What if we'd married sooner instead of later? Or bought that house? Think of the money we'd have made. Life is a series of decisions which often can't be taken back, which is why planning is important. Talk with us at First Union. We can't change the past, but we can sure help with the future.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free.
Free?
Free.
Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Well, Josh Reed puts LSU on top of Alabama 7-0. Reed caps off the drive with a 34-yard catch from Josh Booty. They go 78 yards, 7 plays.
Josh Booty is a quarterback who loves to throw timing routes, the 3-step drops, and Alabama's secondary knows that. He runs a lot of the hitches, the slants, the what do they call them, the hawks, the 4 or 5 yard outs. And that time, we'll see a replay in a moment, but Milo Lewis bit and paid for it.
Arvin Richard on the short kick. Alabama will have good field position around the 28-yard line.
Watch Reed here. He's going to come here, here, and here, and we got a little bite working right here by Milo. And this play was something LSU told us yesterday. They thought that they could get Alabama on, and it wasn't close. That is questionable defense and good game planning and execution.
Josh Reed, he's from Rayne, Louisiana. You know what Rayne, Louisiana is known for? I know.
Frog,
frog capital of the world. I said, hey, have you ever sat down, had a plate of frog legs? He said, once was enough.
And he hasn't been frog gigging, which in these parts, a lot of people go frog gigging.
Boy, tough running. Myrie is in for Alabama, number 42, and Jeremy Lawrence makes the stop.
Well, Alabama needs to be mentally tough right now. They've gotten through the first quarter, only a touchdown down, but they need to get some offense going. And looking at game tape of most of their games this year, they have played in spurts. And this is one of those spurts that's reminiscent of Tennessee and some of the other games where they could get no momentum passing or running.
Dow from the shotgun, across the middle and complete. Millens makes the catch. Booker made the tackle. Well, that's going to end the first quarter here at LSU. The Tigers lead Alabama 7-0. We'll return to Tiger Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
Peter Friedman gets top-notch advice in everything he does. So why doesn't he get top-notch advice when he invests online? Simple. He doesn't know he can. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
In 5 billion years, Earth has never seen anything like it. The Honda Rubicon. 500 cc's of extraordinary power and the most advanced automatic ATV transmission to ever run the planet, the Honda-matic. When you're the best on Earth, Earth is your only competition.
Walker, Texas Ranger. Tonight on CBS, it's all here.
A decade ago, the politicians passed a state sales tax on food and utilities. They called it a temporary tax. You're still paying it. Amendments 2 and 3 repeal this temporary tax. And if it's repealed, this tax will never be levied again without a vote of the people, because I insisted it be put in the Constitution. These amendments dedicate by law funds to higher education, teacher pay raises, and our accountability program. Unlike the lottery money, the politicians will spend this money only on education, or they'll have me to fight.
Vote yes 3 times.
You know, I'm getting left behind at work. All these young kids coming in with all this technical training. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Have you thought about maybe going back to school?
If you need additional training or maybe a new career, ITI Technical College is here for you. With reasonable hours and evening school, you can keep your present job and still get that degree you've always wanted.
ITI, it's about your future.
ITI, for a better life.
You might not realize how many times each day you may touch a Georgia Pacific product in your home. Port Hudson's dedicated workforce produces high-quality products while working safe and striving for environmental excellence. But we know we can do more for our community by supporting various educational and environmental programs.
The projects we support help our community become stronger. Because we don't just work here, this is our home too.
Georgia Pacific, we make the things that make you feel at home.
You're watching WAFB Channel 9, Louisiana Sports Channel.
Start of the second quarter here in Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. LSU leading Alabama by 7. Andrew Zhao under center on 3rd down and 5. Now Zhao will step back into the shotgun. Zhao throws far sideline up, and it's a great catch at the 34-yard line. Jason McCadley.
Oh, I'm cracking up here because we've got someone to introduce you to you that was pretty excited about that grab by Jason McCadley and considered one of the best athletes on this Alabama team, and you just saw why.
Well, you heard the yow.
I apologize. I forgot I was on the air.
That's Mal Moore, the Alabama athletic director, and after this play, we'll get to business. Not much that time as Myrie is tackled for a 3-yard loss. It is our pleasure to have Mal Moore, athletic director of Alabama, in the booth. And Mal, I know it's been a very difficult week in Tuscaloosa, but tell us right from the start, why the timing now to have Mike DuBose leave this program with 3 games remaining?
Well, I felt that we would make a change, and it was, in my feelings, an opportunity to go ahead and do it now and kind of clear the air or take the pressure off the players of the uncertainty of the situation and off our coaches, and to give them a chance to win these last 3 games and possibly make a bowl trip.
Now, everyone everyone we speak with, and my opinion is the same as the coaches that I've spoken with, is that this job is not for a lot of people. It is a job that's high profile. It's pressure. It's Alabama football. That list is very small. Names have already come out. Jackie Sherrill and Tommy Bowden and others. Where are we with the possibility of a Jackie Sherrill or a Tommy Bowden?
Well, I have names and thoughts in my mind that of who I would like to go visit with eventually. But I do think you're right. It requires a certain type coach, one that has the thrill of the fight here, because it's big time and as big as it gets.
Now we'll look here at 3rd down and 15. LSU should have blitzed from the backside, and Zhao is knocked down, and now flags are out. Boy, a hard hit by Jeremy Lawrence.
They're going to, that's going to be an unsportsmanlike call. Jeremy's not going to like it, and Zhao is up. It appeared for a moment that Zhao was down and injured, but thank goodness he's up.
Boy, for a moment there was that feeling that maybe lost consciousness. He just was stunned and downed. Multiple flags around the 44.
Well, Alabama would be going to a walk-on player.
They had 2 dead balls, fouls on that situation. We had delay of the game on the offense. And then we had a personal foul, late hit, against the defense. All penalties were being enforced.
Personal foul or just a hard hit, Dean?
Well, here it is. You be the judge. I actually thought when I saw him coming up from behind that he let up a little bit. So, I mean, it's a rough physical game.
It is.
I'm glad that Zhao is not hurt. Mal, jump in. You played at Alabama when Bear Bryant first got there. What would you think?
Well, that is a tough blow for a quarterback when he doesn't see the man coming, and he actually had no clue he was about to be hit.
But the rules don't say that he has to know that he's coming. So I thought that it was a clean hit by LSU and Jeremy Lawrence.
I think the whistle had blown because it was a delay of the game against Alabama, and he hit him after the whistle.
Hey, good luck to you, and I know that search will be watched by a lot of people with a lot of interest.
Well, it will be.
Good luck to you.
I'll do my dangest to please Alabama people.
Mal, thank you very much. You have a timetable you're trying to put forth right now?
Well, as soon as possible, we would like to have the coach identified that we would like to go after, yes.
All right, Mal, thanks so much. Mal Moore, Alabama Athletic Director, joining us here at the booth this afternoon. Thanks again.
Well, there have been some questionable calls early in this game. Nice of Mal to come up. This is an animal that not many people can handle. Word is, Jackie Sherrill is saying no. He's told me no. Friends of mine who have spoken to Terry Bowden say that he is saying no.
Well, another name on that list is Butch Davis, who scored a huge win today against Virginia Tech. Alabama on the move, and they pitch it to Myrie inside the 25. Ryan Clark makes a stop at the 23-yard line.
Interesting timing. You say Butch Davis, the score flashes up. His team playing well and could be one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country really soon. I know Butch, and wouldn't be. This seems to be a decent fit there. Butch would need to be able to handle the intense scrutiny and criticism that comes with this job. Would be the only question I would have. Frank Beamer's someone that we know, Craig, and I don't think that Frank would leave his situation right now.
Well, he's very comfortable in Blacksburg, Virginia. Well, play is stopped before the snap. Boy, a lot of mass confusion on this drive. Another flag down.
Well, I'll throw 2 more names out there. I know both of these guys. Dennis Franchione.
For the snap, movement by the offensive line. Have your penalty.
I've known Dennis Franchione for a while. He's as good a coach as there is in America. His TCU team is undefeated. I don't know about the outs in his contract and how that would work out here or if he would be the fit, but he's a great football coach who would win. Jeff Bauer is a great football coach, winning at Southern Miss, beat Alabama this year. Don't know of the interest or Alabama's interest in him.
Little big play onto Myrie. Tackled and driven down. Fred Booker was the first to meet him. The left corner, a senior out of Hammond, Louisiana. And what do you know? Another flag.
It's been flag day here. A day full of flags, full of humidity, and full of controversial calls. I'm just glad Andrew Zhao was able to get up.
Well, you saw in that replay, looked like the eyes were shut momentarily.
Pressing the face mask. Against the defense. It'll be half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Well, Saban asking for an explanation as we look at the replay. And it looked like Booker, as he strung this play out, number one in your screen there, reached and right there. Face mask.
That appears to be a good call. We're not seeing it from the side where we could actually see the hand on a face mask. Couldn't tell.
Alabama trying to grind one out. Howard Green making the tackle for LSU. Alabama's offense on the season is very balanced, Dean. 162 yards run, 168 yards pass, averaging 24 points a game. Well, yet shut out, as you mentioned, Southern Mississippi shut them out 21-0. They scored 7 against Ole Miss. Or pardon me, 45 against Ole Miss. Only 10 though in that loss to Tennessee.
Well, those balanced numbers sound okay, but the bottom line is scoring offense. They're 11th in the league there. The other important one's turnovers. They're 11th in turnover margin. Can't win with those.
Zhao rolls out, goes back across the grain, catches made, touchdown Alabama. Antonio Carter. He's been battling a sore ankle, but it's the first touchdown catch for Carter.
And this is one of the first times I've seen Andrew Zhao buy time. This time he goes to his receiver that has terrific hands in Carter. In traffic, strong hands here. And he's able to pull it in, and as the defender was going for the football, DeBose celebrates because you can't tackle the man and the football at the same time.
Extra point is up and through the uprights. Neil Thomas connects. 7-all in Baton Rouge.
Volunteers, we all have regular jobs. We can be coming from anywhere. We get a call, we need to get to the fire right now.
Things that are going through our mind are the hazards we might face so that when we get on scene, we're ready to act.
We need a truck that can handle anything we throw at it.
4 full-size doors gets us in and out quickly.
There's 6 people in the cab and there's a ton of room for cargo. Great truck.
Are you following PHRN?
Get your clients into PHRN.
Clinical testing through the roof.
There has been a discovery. We'll be announcing it soon.
I hope this works.
Me too.
See the story behind the numbers. Go to cbs.marketwatch.com.
Pill-popping, drug-addled, speed-crazed, cheap shot artist. When you read things like that or hear things like that, what do you think?
Bill Romanowski speaks out on the NFL today.
Now there is life in Alabama. 7-7 our score, 9 plays, 72 yards. Antonio Carter, his first touchdown catch this year. And Dean, it's amazing, his first touchdown since a year ago against LSU.
Well, he's a talented guy. That just speaks to the problems of Alabama throwing the football and Alabama throwing it to a receiver who can get in the end zone.
Thomas to kick. High hanger inside the 5-yard line. Davis up the middle, 25-30. Davis 35-40. Davis to the 47. Reggie Miles saved the touchdown.
Special teams is about effort. Special teams is about being focused. Hard for Alabama to be that today. Look at the wedge open up the alley in the middle of the field. And Craig, you or I may not have gotten it back to midfield, but I would have gotten it to the 30, and you would have gotten it to the 29. I know you would.
Okay, yeah, I'll go 29. Davis, only a sophomore, returns it 46 yards.
That's the second time, though, poor kickoff coverage by Alabama. Not surprising in the state of mind that they have to be in with all that's going on.
Davis, the ball carrier. Well, Sunday on 60 Minutes, a letter marked urgent usually means someone is in urgent need of your money, and no one plays that game better than politicians. That story Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Another short field for Josh Booty and company.
A pickup of 4 for Dominic Davis. 3 wide receivers split to your far side on 2nd down and 6. Booty. Oh, the quick hitter. Bounces off as Josh Reed. Close to the first down at the 41. Connie Brown made the initial hit. Boy, Josh Reed bounced off of him like a ball off one of those pool tables.
Well, it's a wide receiver. Milo Lewis bangs him, and he keeps his feet moving. You know, that's what you get when you have a running back flanked out in the slot. He's in the slot. He gets the ball. He has a chance to use, you know, if he's on the sideline, Craig, the sideline becomes an extra defender. But in that slot, this guy, Josh Reed, is able to rack up this type of numbers.
Yeah, so tough after the catch. Short yardage and a first down to the 41.
But it's such a good decision to let him play slot because he can catch a lot of those dink balls. And it's so difficult not having that sideline as a defender.
Well, Josh Reed had a tremendous game a couple of weeks ago against Mississippi State. 10 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown. Clock running. 1st and 10, LSU on the Bama 41-yard line. Reggie Robinson in motion. Booty feeling pressure. Steps up. He can run. Looks for a blocker. Now comes down the sideline. And the former minor leaguer. You know, when you're 25, Dean, you get smart, don't you?
Yes, you do.
And he just does a little walk out of bounds at the 27-yard line. 14-yard run, Josh Booty.
All the credit goes to his fullback, 43. Keep an eye on the fullback. Josh Booty scrambling, the fullback right in front of him. He'll come into your screen. He gets 2 players out of the way, and Tommy Banks has been a 4-year starter, a popular player, a workhorse for these guys. And Josh Booty does a nice job, but it would not have been possible without number 43.
14 yards for Booty. LSU 1st and 10. 7-all here in Death Valley. Wide open. Reggie Robinson. Connie Brown made the tackle. Boy, Reggie Robinson found a seam, and it was wide open. 12-yard pickup.
Well, Alabama's been in some zone, and this time it's a little bit soft. You have Milo Lewis playing soft there, and anytime you can catch the ball and make a move before the defender can touch you is what happened with Reggie Robinson. It is not good news for the defense. Alabama now has them off balance.
Inside that red zone, LSU has scored the last 15 opportunities, 11 touchdowns, 4 field goals. Double tight end set for the Tigers. Trying to ground it on the ground is Dominic Davis.
You know, the defensive line at Alabama is a place that a lot of us thought coming into the season that here's a program that recruited so well at defensive line, and they had a lot of great players there last year, some returning, but they were just deep. Well, it hasn't turned out that way. They've had an injury. Kendall Moorhead had an Achilles tendon problem before the season started. He's been out. Some players have disappointed. With some good players gone, some of the players there have not played as well, and a lot of the highly touted freshmen didn't qualify academically.
Reed in motion. Handoff. Davis crashes down to the 5-yard line. Adam Cox making the tackle for the Crimson Tide.
Well, when you have two running backs with this type of ability, you've got a lot. And Dominic Davis can start for a lot of people, a 206-pounder. But the interesting thing is, we're bragging about Tofield and Davis. LSU has a guy they like better than both of them. Devery Henderson is number 26, and before this day's over, I imagine we'll see the freshman.
Well, right here on my card, as you see the chains, the one word, great expectations. I guess that's 2 words. But this is a guy that has great breakaway speed. Henderson, the freshman, at a 10-2 100-meter man.
And that's not by a bunch of old folks out there with stopwatches or maybe their hand watch. That's electronic. 10-2 electronic means a guy can mobile.
Now 1st and goal from just outside the 5-yard line. Double tight end set. Roland DiMaggio. Davis knocked back. Maybe lost a yard at the 6-yard line. Tough up front. Alabama's front gives you Odom. They'll bring in Arius Monroe, Kenny Smith, Albert Means, Jarrett Johnson, and Kenny King.
King's a guy they had a lot of expectations for this year. He played so well last year as a freshman. He's got a stinger. He's had more pressures than anybody, but 55 hasn't played as well as he or the staff would have hoped.
Yeah, King did not play last week. Ninth play of this drive. Booty looking to the end zone, has some room, slips and falls at the 11th. Good coverage by Bama's secondary.
Good job of the secondary of taking away the first read for Josh Booty. Tries to buy some time, good pressure, field a little bit, I don't know what you call it, slick, but when you try to make those radical moves like that, you're going to lose your footing on this type of field.
Hey, as humid as it's been today,
yeah,
I feel like it's rained an inch.
Yeah. We look like it. Our light blue shirts are now navy. At least in some parts.
In some parts. 3 wide receivers set to the far side. Booty wants to roll. Throws a dart. Complete. Touchdown, Josh Reed. yards. Second touchdown. Booty to Josh Reed. And that's the third baseman right there throwing from the hot corner to the end zone.
Well, there's a reason that arm strength does come in handy. Sometimes it's overrated, but not here. This is a ball that Josh Booty has to gun because of the defenders coming in. That ball had some revolution, some velocity on it.
Flags before the kick.
Josh Booty, just a name for the South and for LSU. And, you know, I think about quarterbacks when you talk about Shreveport. One of my guys from years ago is Terry Bradshaw, and really Joe Ferguson was the guy that I looked up to. David Woodley was from Shreveport.
Throw the snap. Defense, make contact. That's going to be half the distance. Replay the try.
Brock Berlin.
Yes.
Look, he was at Evangel.
Half the distance to the goal, so now Corbello will chip it up and through. And LSU, a couple of touchdowns from Booty to Josh Reed. 14-7. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot College football will continue after this word from your local station.
You know the legend. Now get to know the woman.
Need to get online, but you've got a teenager tying up the phone?
I need to get online.
E-Tel can help. For a limited time, get internet and a second line for only $25 a month when you sign up for eTel's Deluxe Home Phone Service Package Complete Connect. Imagine, you can surf and talk at the same time with your extra line. So choose eTel for your local phone company and get internet and a second line for nearly the cost of internet alone from eTel. So get your teenager off the phone and call.
I have 2 degrees from LSU in education. I passed the CPA exam, and I've been a mayor for the past 8 years. I wouldn't be running if I didn't think I was the most qualified.
Spirit and pride.
You really don't want to experiment with this position. You want someone who can get the job done from day one.
Spirit and pride.
Let's elect a proven, experienced leader, Bobby Simpson.
Kids, you turn your back 1 minute and they're scraping their knees, trading their sandwiches for candy bars, taking their internet companies public for $500 million. Kids. Well, we have some good news for all you so-called adults out there. Just because you're over 18 doesn't mean it's too late to begin working on your personal fortune. Sure, it won't happen overnight, but if you come in, we can point you towards some sensible ways to save or invest and generally take care of your needs. Of course, it wouldn't kill you to be nice to your neighbor's kids, just in case they make it big.
I grew up in a cellular family, and there was a lot of yelling, static and yelling. That's what I remember the most. I finally did get free and clear, though, and wow, the clarity. Now, we don't yell anymore. We just sit down and talk like people.
The new Sprint PCS Free and Clear plan, $29.99 for 500 minutes, all with nationwide long distance.
It seems like every time you turn on the TV, there's another ad for another .com. .com this, .com that. Half the time, you can't tell what they're advertising. But they sure are funny. Guess what? This is another ad for a .com. No crazy music, no dancing animals, just a pretty simple message that can make your life a little simpler, too. So log on. We can get you started in no time. After all, you've got better things to do, like watching those funny .com ads.
Bill Simon. For 35 years, you have trusted us with your tire and automotive service needs. Now we have quality truck accessories at great prices. Together, we can create the truck of your dreams.
Well, that was Charlie McClendon's team that did win that one. And who was the player yesterday saying that if they take it, if they play the responsibilities, they're going to have a bunch of baby boomers hanging off the goalpost.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do that today. Alabama to the ground, down by 7.
I think that was Brady James telling us that.
Dawson make the tackle on Galloway.
Well, Alabama responded with a nice drive and score the last time it had the ball. This one would be a little bit longer, but still just as needed. Because LSU is a quick strike offense, and is a team that could turn this 14-7 nail-biter into 21-7 at halftime very quickly.
Val pedals back, fakes the handoff, steps up and throws at a man wide open, incomplete. Arvin Richard.
He was wide open. That ball must have slipped.
Well, tomorrow's the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Jim Nance and the guys will have all the information for you starting at high noon. And then stay tuned. Armin Katayan goes behind the scenes with Bill Romanowski, the linebacker for the Denver Broncos. A rare look at his obsession getting ready to play on game day. And, of course, he'll answer charges about his controversial conduct, both on and off the field. That's tomorrow, NFL Today.
Well, that was a play that could have and should have been for Alabama. Andrews now looking at his hands, his massive hands, I might say, after shaking hands with him last night. That ball didn't slip because he has small hands.
Good protection. Zal out of the pocket. Tackle down at the 15. Kyle Kitts. He's a former tight end. Started there as a freshman. They moved him to the defensive line. And boy, he's been a dandy.
Zal needs time to make it happen. His offensive line getting overwhelmed, and you named it. Kipps is the guy that is very athletic, a tight end. It's been a great position for Nick Saban when he came in. He saw 7 tight ends who could play, so he moved 3 of them in the spring to defense, and this kid's been a player.
End over end kick taken by Davis. Breaks it at the 30. Davis at the 20. Davis fumbles the football. Picked up. And now the beanbags are down inside the 10.
I'll repeat it for a third time. Special team is where you see a team's discipline, its commitment, its passion. This is the 3rd time that LSU has busted out, and this one should have been for a touchdown. Good blocking, pitiful coverage. Couple of guys loafing. And shouldn't have been a fumble. Almost ended up being a touchdown anyway.
Blocking the back. The call by Steve Landis, our referee today. And so after all that, they're going to bring it back to around midfield.
Well, let's see if we can see. Right there's the call. It is a good call. There was no question from the very beginning.
So a timeout. LSU on top of Alabama by 7.
How many experts does it take to predict a market change?
Tickets, folks. I'm out.
Tax laws have changed. Should I be looking at my estate plan again?
Anyone who knows me wouldn't recommend a stock like this.
Not again. This guy.
Investment strategies for you. Great. Just for me and 5 million other people.
Thank you, Painweber.
What does it take to get a plane off the ground? 50 tons of aluminum. 95 miles of wire. Thousands of engineers. 1,200 suppliers, 3 million emails, 27,000 e-business transactions, and one very powerful e-business solution that makes the whole thing soar. SAP.
For red, dry eyes, try Clear Eyes. It removes redness and has an ingredient to moisturize. Wow. The difference is clear. Clear Eyes.
Look! Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up on the AXA Halftime Report, Spencer Tillman and I will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights of a big day in college football as Oklahoma's Josh Heupel rolls it up on Baylor in preparation for A&M next week. Now, back to Alabama and LSU.
4:59 left before the half. LSU at home leading Alabama by a score of 14-7. I just saw that score, Oklahoma-Baylor, and I looked at you because of your ties with the Sooners. I saw a slight crack to the smile.
Well, I thought Oklahoma might be a little flat this week because of having the October gauntlet of Texas and Kansas State and Nebraska. But Bob Stoops has that team focused and red hot. He's got a pretty good quarterback named Heupel.
Play action. Pretty good quarterback here. Pitching it out. Reggie Robinson takes the pass from Booty. To
That's
the
a late
50-yard line, and it was a late whistle.
Yeah, it's a very late whistle. That's the problem on that play. The fans are booing because it appeared that there was a late hit out of bounds, but the whistle didn't blow. And that's a problem that I've had in looking at game tape of Alabama this year. Doesn't look like the same guys I've seen in Crimson before who have played from snap to whistle hard every play. I haven't seen that from this bunch. And the whistle, let's play like we are the official here. He is being, pardon me, held up. Whistle goes about now.
Well, the officials step in. Timeout called by LSU. So they're going to burn their first timeout of this half as Josh Booty makes his way to the sideline. Will step aside. 14-7 LSU.
What kind of a company are we?
We're a small-town banker helping a farmer, a capitalist on Wall Street growing companies, a financial advisor planning a future. You'll find us from Florida to Silicon Valley to Singapore, and just down the street from your home. We're First Union, one of America's largest and best financial institutions, helping our neighbors in every way we can.
54-yard field goal, 5 seconds left. Their season all comes down to this. Here's the snap.
Digital recorder with TiVo, pauses live TV, and a lot more.
Volunteers, we all have regular jobs. We can be coming from anywhere. We get a call, we need to get to the fire right now. Things that are going through our mind are hazards we might face so that when we get on scene, we're ready to act. We need a truck that can handle anything you throw at it. 4 full-size doors gets us in and out quickly.
There's 6 people in the cab and there's a ton of room for cargo. Great truck.
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
Now that's from the floor here at Death Valley Tiger Stadium. 91,027. Just completed a $50 million addition of 11,027 seats. That makes the noise, Dean, even louder for opponents who walk in here.
You bet it does. Hey, there's that rookie. There's that true freshman, Deverade Henderson.
Let's go back to last year, the meeting between these two teams. LSU's Josh Booty, we look at 4th and goal, tried the QB sneak and was stopped short of the goal line. Crimson prevailed 23-17. Bama linebacker Marvin Constant, terrific job on that play, but injured a knee. And he is still struggling to this day, trying to make a comeback.
Well, Booty rolled out, and he had a chance to throw that ball, Craig, and he had an open receiver, and he this year would not do that. He would throw the football instead of forcing it.
Cofield back at the tailback spot, running hard to the 49.
And that's the difference in Josh Booty this year than last year, or not this year necessarily, but the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's letting the game come to him. He has worked with a sports psychologist through the help of head coach Nick Saban, who he says has really helped him a whole lot. And it seems that he's more at peace and is letting his teammates make plays and not forcing it himself.
And again, the reason being, there was so much hype about Josh Booty. I mean, coming out of high school, chose to try his luck at the major league level, baseball, and now coming to LSU. From the eye, first down, 49-yard line of Alabama. A little wiggler to the far side, picked by Josh Reed. Well, coming up on the AXA Halftime Report, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman will have all the scores and highlights, plus the latest college football news around the country. Stay tuned. That's coming up on the AXA Halftime Report.
And Tim, tell Spencer just to keep some of those team scores coming. He's done a good job through 8 games so far with a couple of teams. Just keep them going. You know, that ball thrown by Booty there on that hawk route, as they call it, a 4-yard out. Yeah, it's only 4 yards, but they're going to catch and run a lot farther most of the time. He has a great arm for that kind of ball. It's kind of an easy throw.
Bama showing blitz. LSU on the ground at Cofield. Follows his blockers to the 40-yard line. Odom, the left defensive end, made the tackle. Antoine Odom, only a freshman. You know, one thing, too, about Alabama, Dean, you have to talk about, through the first 8 games, Mike DeBose has been forced to use 14 first-time starters this season.
Yeah, it's been a year. It just seems like when things go bad, they really go bad. I think part of that, Craig, is due to when you have high expectations, when you meet early disaster or early failure, it's easy to slide down. This team was talking national championship. They were ranked number 3, and some felt, including Steve Spurrier, their non-conference schedule too difficult.
Cofield on short yardage. Don't believe he got to the 39.
I think you go for this, Nick Saban. Alabama hasn't done much offensively. I think that if LSU scores a touchdown on this possession, in my opinion, Alabama will have a 1 in 20 chance of winning the game. I really think it's that important.
LSU this season 7 of 8 on 4th down conversions. And now the Tide wants timeout. 1:24 left in the half. We'll be back.
What's going on?
Hey.
Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. A name proven by pros since 1923. Take our planer with the power and performance to produce superior finishes on stock up to 13 inches wide. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
1:24 left before halftime. LSU leading Alabama by 7, 4th and just inches. And is this one of those quarterbacks that you just put booty back throw, maybe go to the end zone, maybe short stuff?
I don't think you put him back. I think you put him under center because it's short, and Alabama expects a short yardage play, a plunge by him or turn around and hand it up. I think it's a play, and it's so easy when you're out of the game and you're up here and you're getting a paycheck by someone else to call plays for someone. But man, if I could call this play, I would love to see a play action, get man on the outside and go deep and try to put this thing away.
That's why you're up here and Nick Saban's on the sideline, pal.
Not necessarily. Who says my idea wouldn't work?
They're going to punt.
He's a defensive coach. What does he know about offense?
Donnie Jones set to kick away to Freddie Millen.
That's why that's Jimbo Fisher. I guarantee you Jimbo didn't make that call. The head man made that call.
Angling to the corner. High hanger. Inside the 5. They're going to down it at the 2. Oh, great special teams coverage. LeVar Johnson. Sunday on CBS, she was married to an American hero, but not every fairy tale turns out to be a dream come true. Don't miss the incredible true story of Jackie Bouvier Kennedy Onassis, a CBS miniseries event. It's all here Sunday on CBS.
Who didn't like Jack?
Yeah.
You know?
Camelot. 1st and 10, Alabama. A minute 13 left before halftime. Zhao.
Now this is where I'd go deep. You just get it out of your end zone and go to the locker room.
Need to breathe a little bit. They hand it off, and that's a tough call there because the ball was handed off 2 yards deep in the end zone.
Yeah.
Falk right there, number 7, the middle linebacker, averaging 11 stops a game in to make another stop.
Well, and as leaky as the offensive line has been at times this season, that is a dangerous play.
You know, Falk and Brady James, number 11, it's a great story. I had a great chat with both of those linebackers. Both came in the same recruiting class, Dean. They both made a secret pact. We're going to come here and play, and we're going to be linebackers at LSU.
They will be very, very good before they're done. They're nice players now, not great players. Call timeout, LSU.
Tigers called a timeout with 23 seconds remaining.
I think the thinking has to be Alabama's hoping that LSU doesn't call timeout. They don't want to punt. LSU wants to take a chance on blocking a punt before this is over.
Dudley, get the paper.
A clean, crisp newspaper delivered to your printer automatically.
Don't panic the clients, but we got to get out of RHP now.
What just happened?
I'd like to introduce our new CEO and my kid brother,
Tommy.
CEO.
See the story behind the numbers. Go to cbs.marketwatch.com.
Undercover feds are being assassinated. Now Washington, D.C. is calling on its secret weapon.
Okay, Senator, I accept.
An all-new Walker. CBS tonight.
23 seconds left before halftime. 14-7 LSU. And Alabama looking at third down at the 3-yard line. Timeouts remaining. The Tide with 2. Tigers with 1. Zhao with the handoff, and oh, look at the pursuit by the guys in white. Booker led the charge. Ahmad Galloway, the ball carrier, and that brings up punting situation. 4th down.
Well, now it's time for Alabama to execute blocking, execute the snap, and execute getting the punt off. You don't really care that it goes 50 yards, although LSU will have time to come back unless they will have time to run a play or two. If I'm LSU, Craig, I assault the punter. I mean, they almost put me in jail in this thing because, you know, you can penalize me if you want and let Alabama have the ball. But if you think you have a legitimate chance of blocking this thing, go get them. Alabama's done, on the other hand, such a poor job of coverage today. There's a logical side that would say fake the blitz, fake the punt block, get your guys back and try to run this thing back or get it into position where you can throw it into the end zone or have an easy 3-pointer.
Alabama breaks huddle on the sideline. LSU awaits. Davis awaits the kick inside his own 45 or the Bama 45-yard line. Bearden just shy of the back line of the end zone. Right over his shoulder. Here it comes.
That was a funny-looking kick. It came out about as high as a pass by a weak-armed quarterback trying to throw one on the line on a rope.
Well, he got it out 35 yards, and LSU did not come with the heavy rush. So 11 seconds left before half. Well, Friday on CBS, the victim of the perfect murder is about to reveal her real killer from the grave. Don't miss an amazing episode of the season's highest-rated new drama, CSI Crime Scene Investigation, After the Fugitive. That's Friday here on CBS.
Well, they're going to have to throw balls with no timeouts. They're going to have to throw balls in this area unless they think they can get one down the gut that's deep enough to get into the end zone, because with no timeouts, they can't keep the ball in the middle of the field.
Booty from the shotgun. 3 wideouts. Booty steps and throws. Incomplete.
Right where I thought he would go with it. Josh making a good decision there at the last minute. Booty tempted to run with it, but that would have been a bad play, and he gave his team a chance for a big play, and worst case scenario, have a chance to throw it up into the end zone.
Now the intended receiver, Jarrell Myers, only a sophomore out of Houston, Texas. 5 ticks left on the first half clock. This time a 3 wide receiver set with Reed, Myers, and Robinson.
Well, they'll likely get them down in a covey of quail down there, and he'll throw it up high into the end zone to the right.
This is where the tip drill may come into play. Booty throws back. High fly ball to the end zone. Incomplete. And you're talking about a covey of quail.
May have been a herd of buffalo.
Well, the final play, Booty steps back around the 47. And a high floater.
This ball with that angle was a 60-yarder, then he can throw at 80.
Well, that ends the first half with our score, LSU 14, Alabama 7. We take you back now to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Craig, coming up on the AXA Halftime Report, we'll get you caught up on the day in college football, including the Hurricanes putting the hurt on the Hokies. After this word from your local CBS stations.
Becker, Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
Richard Baker, more than just a congressman.
Congressman Baker got me involved in the Youth Challenge program. The Youth Challenge program is unique in teaching young people discipline, respect, and it's an intense program.
If it wasn't for Congressman Baker, YCP wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be the person that I am right now. So I really thank Congressman Baker for doing the thing that he did to YCP.
Richard Baker. He's a neighbor, he's a friend. Richard Baker, Congress.
Kids, you turn your back 1 minute and they're scraping their knees, trading their sandwiches for candy bars, taking their internet companies public for $500 million. Kids. Well, we have some good news for all you so-called adults out there. Just because you're over 18 doesn't mean it's too late to begin working on your personal fortune. Sure, it won't happen overnight, but if you come in, we can point you towards some sensible ways to save or invest and generally take care of your needs. Of course, it wouldn't kill you to be nice to your neighbor's kids, just in case they make it big.
You never really know when the craving will hit you. A hunger for Cajun food that must be satisfied. Used to be, Mom's cooking was the only cure. But now, with Savoy's traditional entrees and delicious seafood pies, you're only one step away from a certified Cajun meal. And even though Miss Eula Savoy can't really deliver to your neighborhood, you can find her entrees and seafood pies at your local grocery store. Savoy's entrees and seafood pies. You'll crave them.
Don't be fooled. The so-called tax swap appearing on the November 7th ballot is actually a massive tax increase, one which amounts to more than $1.2 billion over the next 5 years. A $1.2 billion tax increase that nearly every Louisiana family will pay, even those who can least afford it. Backers of this massive tax increase say it's for education, but that's the same thing they said about the lottery, and we all know what happened there. Don't be fooled. Vote no on Amendments 2 and 3.
You're watching WAFB Channel 9, Louisiana Sports Channel.
The AXA Halftime Report is sponsored by AXA Advisors, building futures.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the AXA Halftime Report with a score in Baton Rouge, LSU 14, Alabama 7. Tim Brando alongside Spencer Tillman. But when the decision was made back on Wednesday to let Mike Dubose go, some thought there might be an emotional bump for this team. Even how Mal Moore, the AD, hinted at that in the first half when he got on with our guys. I don't see it.
I didn't see it in their players' eyes. I looked at these guys, those Alabama players, they look like dogs with new pants. You know, they didn't know whether to eat or not. They're out there lifeless. LSU should be up 3 more touchdowns in this one, Timmy.
All right, let's get you caught up now on some of the other action today, and it's plentiful. Virginia Tech, Miami, to the winner, in all likelihood, a shot at the national championship. Michael Vick wanted to play, tried to play, was not as effective as he'd like.
Well, no one runs the option better than this guy right here, but I tell you what, he doesn't look the same here. He loses the ball as a result of that ankle giving him big problems.
Obviously, the big plays came from Santana Moss, also from a magnificent throw from Ken Dorsey. But you know what? Butch Davis knows this is just one. There are plenty others to play.
We just want to try to win one game at a time. If we can stay healthy, we can make it interesting. But, you know, right now we're just thrilled to death to have had this victory and savor this for about 12 hours and then get ready for Pitt.
Yeah, but those computers will give you an edge with 21 points or less. That's a 20-point win. Florida State, they need to win big against Clemson. Remember, they're 2 spots ahead of Miami, though Miami beat them earlier this year in the BCS. Oklahoma Baylor, 56-7. Spencer licking their chops. Josh Heupel and company with A&M coming next week.
Well, you know he's going to get his points, but how about J.T. Thatcher? He's scoring here on a 60-yard punt return. Oklahoma's so balanced, so many weapons, defense, offensive side of the ball. And then when you got Josh Heupel on the center, this guy's about as efficient as it gets. He'll pull it down when he's not passing and stick it in there. 14-0 at that point. And how about Quentin Griffin? Had 6 touchdowns, set a record against Texas a few weeks back. He's doing it again.
All right, so the Sooners booming again late in the game, 56-7. Texas A&M at Kyle Field next week. Look out. Florida and Vanderbilt back into the SEC, 43-20. John Markham had a couple of field goals in this game. Spurrier's quarterbacks generally have a hard time when going up against Woody Woodenhofer's defense, so why not just run an end around? Taylor Jacobs takes it in to tie the score at 7. Then Grossman goes to work to his favorite target. That's Jabbar Gaffney making the catch, 24-13. And then Robert Gillespie got it done on the ground from 19 yards out. But Spurrier knows Sweet Lou Holtz is waiting next week.
It's a good win, but the big game, of course, is next week. South Carolina for the division. First time we ever had one last game of the year for the division, so it should be in the biggest game of the year in the Swamp. So we're starting to gear up for that one.
For the division, South Carolina an open date this week. We'll be talking with Lou Holtz for the College Football Today next week, and you'll see Florida and South Carolina here on CBS Sports, 3:30 Eastern, next week. Now, Nebraska, Kansas, 35-3. Huskers trying to take it out on the Jayhawks today. Eric Crouch, 3 touchdowns, running 1 on the ground as well. Arizona and Washington, as we take you out to the Pac-10, Tuiasosopo, more effective on the ground than in the air. Arizona leads at the half 16-10. Now, Oregon State, you know, they've had to answer questions all week about their coach, Dennis Erickson, taking over Paul Hackett at USC. They'll likely play Oregon for the chance to play in the Rose Bowl. 28-12. They lead California in the second. Speaking of the Big Ten, Michigan and Northwestern, 28-20. This now in the second quarter. Anthony Thomas, 113 yards on just 14 carries today. Into Conference USA, Southern Miss's coach Jeff Power beat Alabama earlier this year, one of the many names mentioned on the Alabama wish list. They're tied against Louisville, 14-all that game in the second. Back to the Southeastern Conference, Mississippi State and Kentucky, 35-17. Dogs, who let them out? The defense and Joe Lee again.
Joe Lee Dunn's defense creates more opportunities than anybody on the planet. And here's another Clinton leaving. Eugene this time picks off Kentucky's Jared Lawrence, and he's running it back 81 yards here, had the Bulldogs up 7-0. And then on the backside of this play, watch Josh Morgan. He's going to do a fine job here, hitting Lawrence in again like he owed him money this time. Ivan Billy picks it up, scooping it in, taking it over, rumbling in for the touchdown.
Now remember, Mississippi State will host Alabama next week. They have really the better schedule of the teams in the SEC that have the 2 losses. Speaking of other teams with 2 losses in the SEC, how about Ole Miss against Arkansas today, 38-24. Romero Miller, nice afternoon. 9 of 23, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's so convoluted in the West, it's hard to figure. Just know this, LSU still has to play in Oxford. That's a tough out. Auburn still hosts Georgia. That's always difficult. And Alabama still has to play at Auburn and again on the road against Mississippi State. And one other score to pass along, Texas A&M and Oklahoma State, 21-16. Aggies, that's a final. They'll, of course, get Oklahoma next week. And again, a reminder, college football today with Lou Holtz. He'll be joining us at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then the game to follow at 3:30 next week, Florida and South Carolina. Coming up, we'll continue our look at a beautiful day in college football, including more action from the Big Ten when the AXA halftime report continues. We talk of Josh Heupel of Oklahoma. How about Josh to Josh Reed for LSU?
What's going on?
Hey.
Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. Name proven by pros since 1923. Take our planer with the power and performance to produce superior finishes on stock up to 13 inches wide. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
With more of the hottest new releases guaranteed, nobody brings home the magic of the movies like Blockbuster.
Rent Frequency this week at Blockbuster. A voice from the past.
Dad?
A warning from the future.
Mom's gonna be murdered.
A man out of time. Frequency, starring Dennis Quaid. Rated PG-13. Guaranteed on VHS and available on DVD this week at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
That's weird. I think it's closed.
What's going on?
It's closed.
Seems to be the problem.
Closed.
Amazon.com changed the way people shop.
Hello? Weird.
That is weird.
HP technology makes it happen.
When you coach the junior gymnastics team, you do most of the exercise. So muscle aches are out of the question.
There you go.
That's why I take Advil every time. It's strong enough to get the job done. This is a very safe sport, as long as I can keep up. So I trust Advil. Absolutely nothing's been proven stronger in even tough pain. These kids depend on me, and I depend on Advil.
Advil, stronger than pain.
First of all, I'm not denying that I used cellular. It was a very experimental time. Someone passed it to me, I put it to my ear, but I did not talk, I only listened. Even then, all I heard was static. But I have been free and clear ever since. I even chose long distance so I could reach out to young people across the nation and warn them of even casual cellular use.
The new Sprint PCS Free and Clear plan, $29.99 for 500 minutes, all with nationwide long distance.
I've only been here a few years, but already this place feels like home.
I love the traditions, hearing stories about Coach Bryant and Dr. Denny, our beautiful campus, and the warmth of Alabama people. Mostly, I'm proud of how this university touches so many lives. I guess you could say Alabama's become a part of me, and that's what Crimson Pride is all about.
Each and every week, be sure to check out the CBS Sportsline 115 poll, which ranks all 115 Division I-A teams. Just click on NCAA football at cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Welcome back to the AXA Halftime Report. Right back to the college football scoreboard we go. Tennessee dodges it again against Memphis with only seconds remaining. They win it 19-17. Rip Shear may be losing his job as head coach there at Memphis. His son Scott played well today, had a couple of touchdown passes. Iowa State, K-State, 56-10. That one's gone finally. Got it done on the ground.
Yeah, Wildcats losers of 2 of their last 3, rebound nicely. Another Josh here. Scobie this time scored for his 4th touchdown in the afternoon. Had him up early and often.
Quincy Morgan had 6 catches, 137 yards on the day as well for K-State. They'll be playing Nebraska, of course, later on. Michigan State, Ohio State, 27-13. Bucks get it done. Garrett Combs on the ground. John Cooper says, you know, if Belisari plays well and our ground game is together, we're all right. Well, Coach may be playing on New Year's Day or around New Year's Day as they move with that victory today to 7-2 overall. Minnesota and Wisconsin, senior day for the Badgers, 41-20. Hey, Michael Bennett didn't play in the game, but you know what? They got it done in the air.
Madison, a tough place for Minnesota to be looking for their first conference win, right? Bollinger to Chris Chambers here, 25 yards, the touch and the lead.
So Wisconsin gets it done today in a big way, 41-20 over the Golden Gophers. They're 5-5. Iowa and Penn State. Look, you can't believe what happens here. All that good news off the field. Rashard Casey in the overtime period. That pass slips right through the hands of his receiver, and Hawkeyes Ryan Hansen comes away with it in double overtime. Iowa gets their 2nd win of the year, 26-23. Staying in the Big Ten. Fighting Illini had lost 4 of their last 5 after that really bum calls that they got against Michigan. Do hammer out a victory against Indiana today, 42-35. Into the Big East, Syracuse, West Virginia. Very important game for Syracuse to get some confidence, and they got it done.
And, Tim, you know, it's tough to defend the fade when your back is to the ball, but Malik Campbell's got it in his gun sights right there, helping the Orange Men survive another one.
And so they secure the Ben Schwartzwalter Trophy, named after the old coach at Syracuse. Well, a reminder, the football action continues tomorrow with an NFL doubleheader on CBS. In the early games, many of you will see Miami take on Detroit, then later most will see Kansas City against Oakland or the Broncos against the Jets. Also on the NFL today, Armand Katayan goes head-to-head with one of pro football's most controversial players, the Broncos' Bill Romanowski. Tune in for a rare behind-the-scenes look at how the linebacker prepares for battle and how he answers some tough questions about his reputation.
Pill-popping, drug-addled, speed-crazed, cheap shot artist. When you read things like that or hear things like that, what do you think?
That answer and more tomorrow at noon Eastern on the NFL Today. Coming up, the second half of Alabama LSU. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the day in Baton Rouge.
The AXA Halftime Report is sponsored by AXA Advisors, building futures.
People put off till tomorrow the things they should do today. It's easy, right?
Anthony Padilla, AXA Advisors.
Especially when it comes to a financial plan. I work with a lot of people my age. They say, Anthony, I'm young. What's the rush?
AXA Advisors is one-on-one financial help.
I say, start now. Sure, you've got a lot of expenses, but you've got this huge advantage, too, and that's time. Hey, I know it isn't easy, but my job is to get you started.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
This is Corey. Corey's MP3 player uses $100 memory cards. He can only afford one. Oh, heck. Corey's out of music again. Stupid move, Corey. This is Mac. His newfangled hip-zip digital audio player holds a whole CD on each pocket zip disk for as little as $10. Mac is a genius. Hip-zip, pocket zip. Zip it.
We can expect in the coming months is Director of Product Development, Paul Noon.
Got
Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, the wireless internet, with optical technology that makes it faster.
Overall, this has been an exciting
more
year.
reliable.
But the next few months will mark the beginning of a new Gesundheit.
Come together.
In fact, with technology changing
Over me.
These lawyers were O.J.'s dream team. But behind closed doors...
Don't embarrass us.
It was a nightmare.
I find this damn insulting.
American Tragedy, November 12th.
It's halftime in Baton Rouge, and as we listen now to the Golden Band from Tigerland. LSU. We'll be right back.
Why are people tossing their yellow pages? There's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions. It's faster, and it's a smarter way to find everything in your town and places your yellow pages doesn't cover. Don't take our word for it. Listen to your neighbors. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best. And right now, get free shipping on any Major League Baseball or World Series gear. MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
Introducing something totally new from Verizon Wireless. It's called New Every 2. We'll give you a new digital phone up to $100 value every 2 years for free when you sign up for a 2-year agreement. So you'll always have the latest in wireless technology. It's never been easier to keep up with what's new. New Every 2, only from Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
In 1979, the rookie showed up at football training camp. His new teammates took one look at his long, frizzy hair and his Fu Manchu mustache. They thought they were looking at some future place kicker. What they were really looking at was their future.
Expect more from an original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Don't overlook an original Coors.
Undercover feds are being assassinated. Now Washington, D.C. is calling on its secret weapon.
Okay, Senator, I accept.
An all-new Walker. Then, while every cop in D.C. is backing up the FBI, a serial killer makes his move.
Anything out of the ordinary, he's gonna start shooting.
The District, all new, CBS tonight.
14-7 at the half, LSU over Alabama. 91,778, the largest crowd to watch college football in the state of Louisiana. Here it is, 14-7. Boy, what a combination Josh Reed had with Josh Booty in the first half.
Well, those two guys can play. Josh Reed is a terrific receiver that is going to become very well known. Booty, though, sees him and sticks it in there that any other type of pass would not have worked. Look at these statistics. Alabama offensively, running for 18 yards, passing for 51, a grand total of 69 yards. Their star, Millens, has a total of 3 yards receiving in the first half. Unbelievably, it was good defense, but bad offense by Alabama.
Corbello will kick. LSU leads by a touchdown. McCadley and Richard back to receive for Alabama. Third quarter underway. From the 2, McCadley to the 19.
Dominic Davis returned 2 kickoffs for an average of 46 yards per return for LSU. LSU's special teams there, Craig, doing a great job backing up Alabama inside the 20.
Well, look, first half numbers, 5 of 11 for Andrew Zhao, 51 yards. The touchdown to Carter and the 1 interception. Carter and Millens at 2 wideouts on 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Play action. Zhao, deep ball near sideline. A push and a shove, no flag, incomplete.
Well, it was a push and a shove. The field judge calling no call because the ball was uncatchable.
Boy, Millens, very quiet in the first half. And, you know, Dean, you talked about Millens, the Heisman Trophy hopeful at the beginning of the season. First time Alabama touches the ball, UCLA, bang, out of the gate, gone on the punt return.
The guy's not even been a hint of his old self. He's not even been a rumor of the way he has been able to play. He's had an injury, but something strange is going on now.
Oh, Zhao nearly threw it right to Ryan Clark, the free safety. And Zhao was under pressure and got a taste of this dirt here in Death Valley.
Zhao feels pressure, but when you feel pressure, if you don't have a man, throw it away. Get rid of it. But that ball was headed toward a defender and no one in crimson. You know, Millens, the speculation was that some people, insiders say that some people get to some of these players, you know, whether it's NFL people or whomever. He has said that he wants to go to the pro if he had a good year.
Zhao
had a good year.
Throwing the deep ball, incomplete. McCadley, the intended receiver, so 3 up, 3 down. 4th down coming up for Alabama.
And let me finish up the thought on Millens, because this is a genuinely talented individual, but he's had an injury this season. He's been slowed by a knee, and for whatever reason, he's not produced. And when I look at the highlights of Alabama after game after game after game, I keep looking for this guy to explode, but he's nowhere to be seen. And now he's more healthy. He still is not producing anything. Part of it is that the offense doesn't take advantage of his skills the way it should.
Bearden with the punt. That's the Alabama hop, still hopping down to the 25-yard line. So no return, and LSU will have it when we come back. A 56-yard kick. Booty and company up on Alabama by 7. We'll be back.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights. This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy. Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
That Nakatani merger is brilliant. We got to move on that now.
Talk to me about the Nakatani merger.
It's big. Deals like that don't happen overnight.
I wonder what brought those two together.
You make that putt, Nakatani. You got yourself a deal.
See the story behind the numbers. Go to cbs.marketwatch.com.
With more of the hottest new releases guaranteed, nobody brings home the magic of the movies like Blockbuster.
Rent Frequency this week at Blockbuster. A voice from the past.
Dad?
A warning from the future.
Mom's gonna be murdered.
A man out of time. Frequency, starring Dennis Quaid. Rated PG-13. Guaranteed on VHS and available on DVD this week at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Pill-popping, drug addict, speed-crazed, cheap shot artist. When you read things like that or hear things like that, what do you think?
Bill Romanowski speaks out on the NFL today.
LSU on top of Alabama 14-7. The two Joshes doing some damage. Josh Booty and Josh Reed.
Josh Booty is getting great protection, and I think that's one of the reasons he's done a good job, and he's also been able to run the football, have his team run it well, which has helped. But Josh Reed, 6 receptions. He can catch it deep, but he is so dangerous catching the shorter passes and getting great yardage after the catch.
1st and 10. Booty on the rollout. Smart play. Throws out of bounds, incomplete. Well, time for our Aflac trivia question. Now, besides Alabama, what other Division 1A schools did Bear Bryant coach? Did you hear that? Schools. Did Bear Bryant coach? We'll have the answer a little bit later on.
Bear Bryant, no one like him. 25-0 in homecoming games, 72-2. All-time at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
6 national championships.
Never a losing season in 25 years at Alabama.
Wow. 2nd down at 10. On the ground, LSU tries to grind it out with LeBrandon Tofield. Antoine Oda makes the stop.
You know, I was lucky enough to be offered a scholarship by Alabama, and Bear Bryant recruited me harder than he probably should have. But I sure enjoyed getting to spend time with him and to come down, and it was back when Richard Todd was quarterbacking, and I remember it like it was yesterday. 74.
74.
Right. Alabama was on a roll at that time, and I ended up going to Oklahoma. But Bear Bryant was a special cat, and you could tell it in being with him for 5 minutes.
If you can wear a houndstooth hat, you're a hot cat. Booty throws, incomplete. Near the football was Jarrell Myers, and now Booty. Slow coming off the ground. Took a hit from Kenny King.
Yeah, left hand. Left hand injury. He'll be able to take a look at it because they are going to have to punt. Miscommunication on the outside. I don't think that Josh was just throwing this one away. He had to get rid of it, or he would have been sacked, but miscommunication with the receiver.
Booty comes off. Donnie Jones to punt inside his 15-yard line. Millens awaits. High hanger, but short. Takes an LSU hop and downed at the 41-yard line. 33-yard punt. We'll take a timeout. Be right back.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights. This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy. Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
I wish I was home, homeward bound.
my thoughts escaping home when the music plays.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
Long Easy 316 Delta Bravo, flight at 25 North Carolina.
They get hired by companies like AT&T, GE, and Ford. They get training in over 200 real-world jobs. And they get it in the Army. That's right, the Army.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by the United States Army, MSM, Salomon Smith Barney, and by Suzuki.
Craig Buller, Jack Dean Blevins back as you look at number 14, Josh Booty. A word from the sideline is bruised left hand. Should return. Rohan Davey, however, just in case, at 6'3", 239, is warming up the arm.
Well, this is when a two-quarterback system is good. And I don't mean the system where you're in and out every other play, but having a quality guy like Davey, who the players respect. He's healthy now with that tendonitis is a bonus.
Galloway, the ball carrier.
Alabama, this is their preseason ranking, number 3. They come down 14, 13, not even on the radar screen.
That's what you call flatlining.
That flatlining looks like the stock that I heavily invested in about 6 months ago.
Well, that did cost this man's job. Mike Dubose. Back to the ground goes Alabama. You know, you bring us some interesting comments that will be discussed as Mal Moore makes a decision on who will replace Mike Dubose. But there's been so much talked and written about it's time, Dean, to let a coach come in and jump from the shadow. The shadow that's been hanging over Alabama for years, and that's the shadow of Bear Bryant. For a coach to come in, and it doesn't have to be in that Bear Bryant family. It doesn't have to be an Alabama guy.
No, it doesn't, and I think it's a good time to get outside of the family if you can, and I'll give you a little more thinking on that after this play.
Dustin McClintock, the fullback is in, but chopped down at midfield is Galloway by Trev Falk. Well, the helmet met the thigh pad.
Well, Trev Falk, 7, is not touched, and great form tackle. That is almost impossible to stop a player of that size from gaining such little yardage, but untouched and a very fundamentally sound tackle, and Falk wins that battle. Zhao on his offensive line for a bust.
This will be the 6th punt for Bearden. Takes a Bama hop, and it's on a roll to the 6-yard line. Tonight on CBS, while every cop in Washington is backing up the FBI, a serial killer makes his move. Craig T. Nelson stars in an all-new episode of what viewers are calling the best new drama of the year, The District, tonight, right here on CBS.
You know, if you can stay in the family, that's a great thing. But forget the family stuff. Alabama's where Oklahoma was recently. I've witnessed it firsthand. They tried the family route. Last one with John Blake did not work. Bob Stoops comes in, a defensive coordinator, defensive-oriented guy. Oklahoma's number 1. Alabama, in my opinion, has better players right now than Oklahoma had when Bob Stoops took it over a year ago. So Alabama, don't give up hope. You get the right people in here, the right attitude. Give someone the control, the authority to make some calls. Don't have committees in Huntsville and all over the state of Alabama involved in so many things. So many people believe it is overly political at Alabama right now.
Well, Mal Moore told us there will be no committee. He will be totally in charge of the selection of the new head coach. Double tight set for LSU. They continue to run some clock to the 15-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down. Kenny Smith made the stop.
You know, one of the interesting things as we talk to people this week about what Alabama might do is most of the coaches offered this without us even asking. They said, you know, guys, there's only one guy who can handle that situation.
When you talk about handle, though, it's the pressure. It's the Alabama mystique.
And that name's Jackie Sherrill. And he played here. But I don't see that happening. Jackie doesn't see that happening. But it is interesting that everyone continues to say that.
Third down and short. Tofield thrown back. Salim Rashid, number 11. He was a freshman, all SEC pick. Boy, solid is the word on this young guy. Led the team in tackles a year ago as a freshman. How about 84 stops coming in, 3 sacks. The first true freshman to start on the defensive, on the defense in modern history in Alabama. That says so much.
Oh yeah, he was a superstar in the making. But it's another example of you've got to have really good people in front of you. And I think Alabama's drop-off on the defensive line has hurt him.
Bama should have good field position as Millens fumbles the punt, and LSU has it at the 45. And as Trev Fulk made the big play moments ago defensively, and now on special teams, comes up with the fumble recovery.
As poorly as Alabama has played offensively, if Millens just catches this football, he doesn't need to go anywhere. If he just catches it, Alabama has half a field. Its best field position of the day to tie the game. Major error and an unforced error. No sun to blame it on. No wind to blame it on.
Or the
lack of focus and concentration.
Boy, Trev Fulk all over the field, special teams, defense, his 4th fumble recovery. He scored twice on a couple of those, and the deep ball falls incomplete. Josh Booty looking for Josh Reed. Booty was wrapped up. All right, Dean, it's time for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Besides Bama, what other Division 1A schools did Bear Bryant coach? Maryland, Kentucky, Texas A&M. And this is going to take you back in time. There's a young Bear at Maryland, then Kentucky, then at A&M, and he finished off with tremendous success at Alabama.
Yeah, 58 he went in there. Only allowed one team in 74 games to score over 30 points at Bryant-Denny.
Up the middle goes Tofield. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crimson jerseys led by Connie Brown.
Tofield is a kid really determined. You can tell by the character the guy has of dealing with the tragedy of losing his mother. He wants to play. He wants to be physical. He loves action like that. Thinks he wears down the defense.
Well, he had the devastating knee injury, a senior in high school.
Didn't play, did he?
Yeah, no.
Didn't play his senior year.
Redshirted last year, took 2 years basically off. And now you talk about hunger. He hasn't played in 2 seasons. That's why you see him with the pads straight ahead.
Well, he said he lost a lot of confidence during that time and didn't think he could make the cuts that he wanted, but that redshirt year, he regained form.
Booty on the quarterback keeper. Well, from this angle, it could be a bit short. Well, they call him Tofield, and Toe has towed the line. 15 carries so far in this game for 60 yards.
Jimbo Fisher, the very enjoyable offensive coach here, the offensive coordinator, saying that he felt like Tofield needed 25 carries today. He's on that pace right now with 15.
You know, he also told us, Jimbo Fisher, we got to be off balance. And in the sense of off balance means to keep Alabama off balance. You got to mix that run. We got to, set Tofield into the line. Booty also is going to have to throw the ball, and he's done that with Josh Reed.
You know what else he told us? And he said he got this from the Bowdens, 4th and an inch. You got to go this time, Nick. Don't be that defensive coach this time. Come on, listen to Blevins up in the booth. You could give Alabama the ball at midfield and they can't score on you. Is that right, Nick?
Well, Booty comes in on 4th and inches.
But anyway, the one thing that Jimbo Fisher said that he got from the Bowdens was try to always end possessions with a kick. And if you think about it, that means a point after touchdown, a field goal, or a punt. What it doesn't mean is a turnover. You always have good field position. You don't turn the ball over. So that's their thinking.
And that's what they practice in practice.
Yeah.
4th and inches. Double tight set. Royal and DiMaggio, the two tight ends. Booty gets the ball. I don't know. I don't think so. Bama says no. In fact, they're going to mark him about a half a football behind the last spot at the 45. So good defense by Alabama.
Look up front. Daniel. Rashid on top. And, you know, LSU has a good center. Lewis Williams is a nice player, but he was pushed back. And Nick Saban's not happy about that. You got to be able to get that, Craig. Can Alabama wake up offensively?
Got a chance. Good field position at the 45-yard line. They have some emotion. They have the defense just held on fourth and what was it? Maybe 2 inches?
Yeah. They went backwards.
Galloway McClintock in the backfield. Zhao rolls out on first down. Chase. Drop. They'll lose a yard. Back to the 44. And it was Lavallee, the true freshman, out of Marksville, Louisiana, making the stop.
Alabama's not having any open receivers. You know, you can look at Zhao and his numbers and gripe about him. But as we have the view from overhead, we can see that there aren't any receivers open. You've got to flood a zone. You've got to bring some people backside. They have not done a good job of play calling or in their scheme, in my opinion, of having open receivers against this defense.
Second down and 10. Galloway on a pitch. Rolls those shoulders. Rumbles down the sideline. Goodbye. Ahmad Galloway. Touchdown, Bama. 55 yards, and we're nearly tied at 14 with a point extra to come.
Finally, Alabama finds a hole, and Ahmad Galloway, who has the potential to do just that every time he touches it, hasn't had that all afternoon. Toss sweep. He's getting it to the goal line pretty quickly. Great combination of size and speed with this guy. He was moving pretty quickly to it for a 230-pound running back.
Only a sophomore. He ran for over 4,000 yards in high school. The extra point by Thomas is good. And we're tied up at 14. Well, the defense, they made the stand. They held LSU. Bama comes back. We're tied at 14.
Dr. Roger Maxfield is ready for a professional money manager, the kind he never thought would handle individual portfolios. One of the best is a few feet away. If only the two could mate. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights. This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy.
Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
And now a look at this week's Suzuki Heisman Watch Update.
Tim Rando in New York alongside a happy Spencer Tillman because the last Sooner to win the Heisman was Billy Sims in '78. The next could be Josh Heupel.
Well, in the strictest sense of the definition, this was the classic sandwich game. Baylor, right? Lowly Baylor. But Josh Heupel goes out 21 of 29, 313 yards, 3 TDs passing, 1 rushing, no interceptions. All he does is win, Tim.
It's been a day of Joshes here on CBS. That might be the premier one, though. For more information on the Suzuki Heisman Watch, log on to cbs.sportsline.com.
Well, Josh Heupel in the Heisman chase, as is, or is he? Michael Vick defeated today, injured. Drew Brees, Chris Weinke still in the hunt.
Hate to do this. Michael Vick's a neat guy. These two guys are still in the hunt. Michael Vick's numbers current. Drew Brees' numbers are not. Brees could win out, go to the Rose Bowl, and think he's legitimate. And I still think that Weinke needs Heupel and Oklahoma to stumble next week against Texas A&M if he's going to win.
Alabama struck in a storied fashion, only 2 plays, and Galloway rumbles 55 yards. Flag's going to come out as a kick goes out of bounds around the 23-yard line.
Well, if you look around college football today, the big story is Alabama. We're right in the middle of it. I think it's critical for them to get their act together right now and get it figured out. Topsy-turvy, the January scramble. It may be very difficult this year for the BCS to really work. I think there's a chance that you're going to hear more talk this year about a playoff than ever before.
Oh, what a throw. Booty connects. Josh Reed made the turn about a half a step before the ball got to him.
Big league throw. Linebackers had to stay with the play action because of the running ability of Tofield earlier. That is a big-time throw with an arm that is an NFL caliber arm. A little corner route. This guy can fling it. You know, he's accurate on longer balls, Craig, because he has such strong arm. His arm is so strong, he can be accurate on the longer.
Again, the quick flip to the sideline. Caught. Jarrell Myers to the 30-yard line. Tackled by Dixon. And, Dean, let's go back to the list. You talked about low tide, topsy-turvy, and pass on that?
Pass on that. There's more passing. You know, you look around the country, you've got Alabama throwing. Alabama has thrown 218 passes this year to 296 runs. Statistically, everyone's chunking it. They're selling more tickets doing that, scoring more points doing that. Offensive coordinators are being hired to do that. Although I think the next guy, Alabama, better be able to run it.
LSU, Nick Saban, they like to throw. Booty, shotgun, 4 wide receivers set. Incomplete. That ball out of bounds. Looked like a misread between Jarrell Myers and Josh Booty. Myers went to the end zone. And Booty looked like he was looking for Myers to make the cut about 8 steps downfield.
Yeah, he thought he had a 10-yard out route. And Myers, player that Booty has thrown to a lot, threw to him a lot last year and in the offseason and this year as well. Just a little miscommunication.
11 of 21 is Booty for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Reed has caught 7 of those passes for 93 yards and the 2 touchdowns. Booty on the run, directing traffic, throws complete. Reggie Robinson at the 9-yard line. Connie Brown and Milo Lewis made the tackle, a 21-yard pass play.
This was a terrific play by Josh Booty in just buying time. Watch Josh Booty at the end of this play when it looked like there was no one open. He finds his man Robinson right here. Robinson went upfield, found a soft spot in that zone when Booty bought time and Booty delivered.
Reggie Robinson, a junior from Shreveport. 3 wide receivers set to the far side. Hands off. Davis breaks a tackle a yard to the 9. Antoine Odom stayed home, made a fine stop. Odom, a true freshman.
Davis has quick feet. You see it here. Bust through the tackle. That's another strong low to the ground type guy. He's only about 5'9.5". He's about 210 out of Robridge, Louisiana.
And Dean, he ran through Kenny Smith. Now that's not a small man, folks. 6'5", 291. Tommy Banks, the fullback. 2nd down and goal. 5 on the play clock.
Check.
They give it to Davis. He's knocked down.
I thought that time with the one-on-one coverage they were going to go to a fade route on top. LSU's capable of that, and that time Booty goes with the run.
3rd down and goal. Jimbo Fisher, the offensive coordinator for LSU, works hand in hand, of course, with Nick Saban, the head coach.
Keep an eye on that guy. Josh Reed, he's the money man.
We'll see what Fisher calls here. 3rd and goal to the end zone. Incomplete.
Well, it was my man.
He wanted Josh Reed. Good coverage by the Crimson Tide. Connie Brown, the free safety.
Well, this is the hawk route that Josh Reed likes to run, and Booty throws it behind him, but still catchable. That ball should have been caught. Whether it was enough for the first down or not is another question. That was good defense by Alabama late in that drive.
John Corbello will try the field goal. He's 8 of 14 this season. This will be from 26 yards out to break a 14 all-time. The kick is away. Corbello, no. Misses from 26. Alabama quickly back on offense after the missed field goal. Down with the pitch, and right now here's our Exxon scoring recap. Reed had the 34-yard reception, and then Carter comes back from 9. Reed makes his second touchdown catch for LSU, and then Galloway gallops 55 yards, and we're tied at 14.
Well, this is a game that LSU feels like, I'm sure, that they could have had a bigger point differential and not be in a situation where you let Alabama back in it. Alabama's in a great spot right now. They're feeling confident. They found something on the right side over there to run the football with Galloway.
Under 4 minutes left, 3rd quarter.
They're right again.
Galloway on the pitch. Breaks a tackle, spins at the 35 to the 37. They're running right now, Dean, behind Dennis Alexander, Will Cuthbert, and Sean Draper, the tight end, along with Paul Hogan.
Well, the center 74 is one of the best in the country. Look at him.
You see that
drive his man out of the way. I mean, Hogan is a big-time player, number 74. Watch him. He comes from pretty good bloodlines. He's got a brother, Ben, that played quarterback at South Carolina, and a brother, Sam, who's smarter than that. He was an All-American golfer at Valdosta State.
Golf instead of football. Saved the knees. Galloway now 12 carries for 87 yards. Up to the middle. Right now, Bama is just finding those seams off the right side. Dennis Alexander right there, 73, 22-inch neck, and a 56-inch chest. Now, that just beats you out.
Yeah, by about double.
Oh, my. Think about that. 22-inch neck. You know, folks, I'm sure with the waist not that big.
Yeah, I did back in my heyday. Sure did. But, no, you're right. That is massive.
2nd down and 4. Alabama over 100 yards now, the team on the ground, and they continue to pound.
Hey, this guy ought to be fresh. That's McClintock, isn't it?
Now, Dustin McClintock did not play in the first half. Now, he's the starting fullback. Sean Bohannon got the start. McClintock disciplined, suspended for the first half for punching a Central Florida player on the final play last week.
Yeah, watch McClintock after the right of your screen. Yeah, there it is. Circled frustration. He had an incident earlier in the game, but watch what he does here with the punch right there. Hey, he's lucky to be playing in this second half. Don't you think, Craig?
Galloway, indeed. In fact, I'm surprised it was only a half. That's just my opinion. You saw 1 and then 2 punches, but that's a decision made by Mike DuBose.
Well, and the SEC jumped in, I think, and I think that they called it a half-game suspension, and DuBose didn't overrule that. I think he went along with it. But that's pretty flagrant. Critical at LSU's defensive front. Those guys, Lavallee and Barnes and Allen, step up right now and play bigger.
3 wideouts, second down and 10. 2 seconds on the play clock. Will shovel reverse. Around the corner comes Carter. Still working hard to the 44-yard line. Brady James pulled him down, number 11 for LSU.
Now, as Carter comes around, we're going to watch the tackle right here. A big man, Ellington. Now, keep in mind that this is a guy who is 6'6", 360 pounds. Watch 65 get out there. Hey, that's some good feet. That's some good effort. And I have not always seen the best effort from this guy. Cousin of Leon Douglas, the great former Alabama basketball player.
3rd down and 2. Death Valley roaring right now in a tight game. Bama only 1 of 8 on 3rd down tries today. They kicked it out to Galloway. Has room, 1st down and more to the 34-yard line. Clock will continue to tick here.
LSU really confused at right before the snap on that. They're trying to call timeout. Thomas at the bottom of your screen down here says something's not right. We're in the wrong defense. And Alabama takes advantage of that. They outnumber them on the right, and Alabama's just doing what Alabama does best. When it was a great team, Alabama would just run the football down your throat.
Well, Galloway is taking it to LSU right now. 15 carries, 104 yards. Remember, he got 55 of that on that touchdown run. Up the middle, breakaway speed. Boy, what a quick second step to the 22. Ryan Clark, the free safety, making the tackle.
So much of sports, so much of football is about believing. Do you believe your coach? Do you believe your system? And there's been a lot of reason for the Alabama football players to not believe in the way things have been handled. But right now, they haven't believed in themselves earlier. They are right now. This is the most confident I have seen Alabama all afternoon. And
on the road, 14 all after 3 quarters here in Death Valley. We'll return to Tiger Stadium right after this message and a word from your local station.
The automotive world is hyped for the V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki. Open road says it's eye-popping. As much fun to drive off-road as it is on. Automobile Magazine raves there's more sport in this sport utility. And Road and Track says it's powerful enough to kick sand in the face of every other four-door in its class. So come into your nearest Suzuki dealer and see for yourself why Motor Trend says the Suzuki V6 Grand Vitara must be on your shopping list.
Friday night on The Late Show, it was the return of Madonna.
You're so bullshitting me. Here we
go again! Monday, Dave's All-Star November continues.
You know the legend, now get to know the woman. Jackie, CBS Sunday.
Duro Monoplex in Hammond has all 2001 GMC half-ton extended cab pickups at 1.9% APR GMAC financing for 36 months, 3.9 for 48 months, or 5.9 for 60 months. Duro Monoplex. If it's got our name on it, you've got our word on it.
In 1992, the #1 issue in Baker was education. They said it couldn't be done, but we fought for local control in neighborhood schools, and we're going to make it happen. Spirit and pride. Don't let anyone tell you that I can't help education. We did it in Baker, and we'll do it in the rest of the parish.
Spirit and pride. Let's elect a proven, experienced leader, Bobby Simpson. That's what I call fan noise.
Look here, I got a little something to show you. There's something you got to see.
Ah, looks
looks like the cat's out of the bag. Give us a call and find out how low your auto insurance rates can
For
be.
your auto insurance needs, call U.S. agencies.
November means big savings and small prices at Durham Toyota in Hammond. Get this new 2001 Toyota Corolla with automatic air and more for just $13,498. Plus lots of Camrys, RAV4s, and trucks. Now at Durham Toyota. If it's got our name on it, you've got our word on it.
We start the fourth quarter, and how opportunistic. Alabama moving towards their fans' right side end zone.
Yeah, it is. That's really a boost for them. It's LSU hoping that a boost comes from Byron Dawson in. They put him in because he's a bigger load, 6'2", 304. Ty Barnes is the best defensive player LSU has, and he plays in front of Dawson. But he's only about 260 pounds. And the way Alabama is moving offensively, and those big offensive linemen blowing people around, they say, we want our big guys.
Ninth play of this drive. All rushing. First down, Bama at the LSU 22-yard line. Millens and Carter, the two wideouts from the I. They're going to pitch the ball out to Galloway. Works the short side of the field and gets inside the 20 down to the 18.
The LSU staff felt that they were going to make Zal beat them. You know, they'd say, I just don't know if he can play in the system they're trying to get him to play in. I completely agree. And even though LSU, even though Nick Saban, a defensive genius, even though he knows Alabama's going to run at him, they can't stop him.
Brady James came up limping a bit, number 11, after the stop.
There's only one senior on that defense in white. One senior on the two deep, in fact.
Boy, McClintock. That's the definition of collision at the 13. McClintock a load at 252.
Well, he took a big shot. The linebacker Ellis popped him. But this guy's got a little comeback in him. A little surge. And like I said, he's not tired.
No.
You know, it's a hot, humid, typical day in Louisiana. McClintock did not play in the first half. Suspended.
Third down, call it one. Right up the middle. Well, they were just challenging LSU's front. Galloway to the 11-yard line.
Would this guy love this game? Mike DeBose, would he love to pull this game out? Would he love to do just what he's doing, push people around? You can tell by looking at Mike DeBose, he was a guy that was a physical football player. He tells us he wasn't a great player, but he knows what it's about. And the second half rushing numbers that you see there tell you that it is about being physical.
18 yards, first two quarters. Bama's punched away at LSU for 133. This is the 12th play of this drive, all on the ground. Two wideouts far side. The pitch, Galloway trying to find a wall of blockers. Bangs to the 4-yard line. Boy, DeBose applauding. Alabama 0-3 on the road this season, tackled by Thomas.
LSU in the wrong defense there momentarily. They didn't get a safety in position. They were lucky to get set on that one, as Alabama, though, just continues to ram it down their throat. It doesn't matter if it's a toss sweep, it's an ISO.
Second down and 3. Bama can get a first down here if they get to the 1. McClintock waiting for the call. They're going to put him down inside the 1-yard line. First down, Alabama.
First down, Alabama. Momentum, Alabama. And in an odd way, it's better that you don't score there. I think you want to continue with the momentum. Same thing we've been talking about this entire drive.
First and goal. McClintock dives in. Touchdown, Alabama. Power football.
Nothing fancy here. Hogan in the middle, the outstanding center. And this time when they need just a few inches, it's easily found. LSU looked for it earlier. It was not. It's because of this physical bunch up front now asserting itself, now moving people out of the way.
Neil Thomas will try to put him up by 7. The kick is away, and they split the upright. 12:43 left in the fourth quarter, and on the road, Alabama has found some life, up 21-14.
There will be moments when the planets align, the heavens part, and the car god smiled down upon you with the beautifully clear, winding road. The mid-size L-Series performance sedan, because it would be a shame to disappoint the car gods.
Can I help you? Yeah, I'd like a dozen mixed.
I highly recommend the cream-filled. 5 stars.
Well, now, if you like the cream-filled, you should try the eclairs, popular in France.
By the way, customers who bought eclairs also bought raspberry jelly donuts and bear claws.
Can I interest you in a book on donuts?
Amazon.com changed the way people shop.
I suppose you want these individually gift-wrapped?
HP technology makes it happen.
In my day, we only had glazed.
This is when a lot of people start to worry. Are they ahead or behind in the race for college, retirement?
Mike Jarvis, AXA Advisors.
Will they have enough to do the things they want? I tell my clients a good plan can get them through, and it's never too late to get started.
AXA Advisors is one-on-one financial help.
Okay, so you're a little behind. You can catch up. I can show you how.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
When Ray runs into an ex-girlfriend, a 25-year-old secret will be revealed. This was a big incident.
The Cuban Missile Crisis was an incident.
An all-new Raymond, CBS Monday.
Crimson Red up on their feet. Alabama on top of LSU, 21-14. 14 plays, they go 80 yards, and McClintock went up and over. 6:56 off the clock.
I'll bet you that the coverage on this kickoff is better than we've seen earlier today. Alabama's into the game. They're emotional. See if I'm right.
Short kick. Inside the 20-yard line.
Yep. That's a little bit better.
6-yard return. It is doubleheader action day tomorrow here on CBS. You've got Miami, Detroit, of course, Kansas City, Oakland, a huge game. All begins with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. And then Armin Catane will go behind the scenes and talk to Broncos linebacker Bill Romanowski. Talk about the rare look at the linebacker's obsession with getting ready to play. And he'll answer charges about his controversial conduct both on and off the field. 1st and 10, LSU down by 7. Cofield to the 30. A pickup of 5 on 1st down.
Gut check, LSU.
Now, this was a game, a hump game. Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher. We talked about to both teams. Of course, Bama in distress. LSU looking to make the next jump, Dean.
Well, and I think these guys right here are concerned right now. There's been so much written about the streak down here. It's been since 1969. That's the last time LSU beat Alabama down here. The players know it. And right now there's a little pressure on them.
Take the pitch to Tofield. High ball, incomplete. Well, that was dangerous. Well, our Rigid Tools Scholar athlete of the game is LSU center Lewis Williams. Rigid Tools' commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the LSU General Scholarship Fund. And Lewis takes a big bow. Pre-med student, 3.79.
Well, he's a leader. He's been an all SEC type player. Been very, very steady for these guys. He's not normally a center, and he struggled with some snaps, but he's had to learn that position, and it's not the easiest position to learn.
3rd down and 5. Booty from the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. On the slant, complete. It's Jack Hunt to the 42-yard line. LSU 1st down. Reggie Miles made the tackle for Alabama.
Jack's pretty excited. That's a great shot at Jack Hunt.
3rd reception of the year.
Yeah, Jack's liking that. And that play has been there much of the afternoon. They have not gone to the slant route very much.
A true freshman out of Ruston, Louisiana. 12-yard pass play. LSU 1st and 10. 42-yard line.
In the last couple of big wins for LSU, they converted big third down plays, and Booty's come through.
Booty, play action on the rollout across the green. He finds Josh Reed at the 30. Reed still on his feet inside the 25-yard line. There's the swivel hips of a running back.
You've got a runner. You've got a receiver for the first part of the play and a running back for the second part of the play. Bootleg, get away where you have some time. Underneath, wide open, the safety's trailing him, and that's where he turns into a running back.
36 yards. LSU trying to answer back after Alabama has gone up by 7. 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Cofield, the ball carrier, up the middle, breaks the tackle inside the 10. Oh, what a drive by LSU. You know, you had to wonder. You said gut check time.
Yeah.
Marcus Spencer able to stop Cofield before he found the end zone.
That's what I like about this team compared to the last few teams they've had here. This is a more mentally tough team. Nick Saban says, I want this team to be tougher, to believe in itself, to be motivated by positive things. He says they were sort of beat down, they were thinking negatively, and they wouldn't come through in the fourth quarter when we need them. Right now you're seeing Nick Saban at his best.
Mike DeBose looking worried. Saban wants one. We'll be back.
With more of the hottest new releases guaranteed, nobody brings home the magic of the movies like Blockbuster.
Rent Frequency this week at Blockbuster. A voice from the past.
Dad?
A warning from the future.
Mom's gonna be murdered.
A man out of time. Frequency, starring Dennis Quaid. Rated PG-13. Guaranteed on VHS and available on DVD this week at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
Interest in the Yellow Pages falling? Now there's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions, locally and nationally. So before you pick up a Yellow Pages, drop in on us instead. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
This new car was going to be different from anything Saturn ever built. It was going to be bigger, more powerful, more luxurious, more everything. And while creating an entirely separate plant may not have been absolutely necessary, it was the right thing to do. Welcome to the factory, the Saturn L Series built.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Blockbuster, Saturn, Switchboard.com, and by First Union.
Back to Death Valley, Alabama, on the road, leading LSU by 7, but the Tigers 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. 10:49 left here. You look at red zone offense today. 2 possessions for the Tigers. They got the 1 touchdown and missed the 26-yard field goal.
They like to spread it out here and run up the gut.
Cofield. Stacked up at the 5. Rashid led the way for Alabama. And it's been a work day for LeBrandon Tofield. 18 carries now for 82 yards.
Well, LeBrandon Tofield wants it about 25 times a game, and Rashid's coming around. Salim Rashid, one of those funny numbered linebackers. You have 11 and 9 for Alabama and 7-11 for Louisiana State.
Now, they told us the old numbers of 50 and 55, they make you look slow. They like the single digits or the small numbers. Booty on his back foot. Touchdown! Robert Royal.
lead Louisiana State to a lot of wins. He gets pressure on this bootleg. But he knows what to do with it. He knows he has an open tight end if they bring that safety, so he throws it soft and high.
Robert Royal, a big target, Dean, at 6'5" and 231 pounds. Pulls down his 4th touchdown as the extra point. Block!
They almost blocked one earlier. You know, the missed field goal? The short field goal attempt, Alabama almost blocked it. I guarantee you at halftime they go in and talk about it. They say the next time we get the opportunity, let's block it. And 88 does it this time as well. He's the one who had the opportunity the first time. Kenny Smith with a huge play for Alabama.
What kind of a company are we? We're customers like you. We use the same stores and markets and dentists, nurseries, and contractors. We like places with good products and good service. We know that's what makes them work. If you have some plans for your small business, talk with us at First Union. Whether you want to make a few improvements or a big change, we'll work as hard as you to make it happen.
We didn't have to offer side impact airbags on all our new cars. We didn't have to make those airbags the kind that are designed to help protect your head, just like the ones that come in Mercedes and Volvo. We didn't have to. That said, we did.
South-to-south fit. Stroke. Check. Check.
Adam Sandler is Little Nicky.
Who's that man, Mommy? I don't know. He sure is butt ugly.
It's his first day away from home.
You're in the human world now, kid.
In fact, it's his first day on Earth.
Thanks, Mom!
Unafraid.
Release the gun.
There's Unafraid.
We are all gonna die!
Little Nicky.
Yes! I mean, woof, woof.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, November 10th. The NFL today.
That's a bad call.
On every frequency, he makes no sense. They were going to knock you in the mouth.
Sundays on CBS.
LSU 1 behind, 10 minutes to go, giving up 4 points in the kicking game. In this game, 88 Kenny Smith comes through. Watch him on the right side of your screen. You've got to get up. You've got to get lined up cheek to cheek. Can't let anyone, especially coming in from the inside, do that, as Brad Smalling was literally run over.
LSU, 7 plays. They go 75 yards, 2:26 off the clock, and Booty was 3 of 4. McGadley, 2 yards deep. Tackled at the 15-yard line. And next week, the Home Depot College Football, it's number 24 ranked South Carolina Lou Holtz taking on Steve Spurrier, and number 5 Florida, it's Watson and Gaffney. And how about the quarterbacks, Grossman and Phil Petty?
Well, Grossman's come a long way since we saw him at Mississippi State when their defense didn't show up that day, but they have become a very good team. And Lou Holtz is one of the top 2 or 3 candidates for Coach of the Year, probably one of the top 2 at this point.
Under 10 minutes left, and this crowd is up and roaring. Alabama up by 1, 21-20.
Busted play. It's 5 yards that'll cost Alabama. Another one of those jumps like they had in the first half.
Well, tomorrow, the NFL Today, Bill Romanowski will talk to Armikatayan about his life as a Denver Bronco linebacker. And then stay tuned at halftime for the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Jim Nance, Mike Ditka, Craig James. Scores, highlights, NFL news. Tomorrow, big day on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Kendall. Still loose. LSU. Ryan Clark brought it in for the Tigers.
You wonder wonder why teams aren't winning. Why is Alabama not winning? Offsides on the first down. Fumble on the second down. This team, that ball should never come out. You've got to secure the football, especially in the fourth quarter.
And Dean, the last 2 games, 8 turnovers for Alabama, 6 picks and 2 fumbles. And today, their third turnover. And we're not through 3 games. Do the math. That's 11 turnovers.
LSU 0.
LSU 0. First and goal, 9-yard line. Cofield alone back.
I think he's going this way.
And the play clock, I see 0.
Boy, that'll be another. Hey, I know there's a lot of pressure. I mean, for Alabama, there's pressure, and they had 2 errors in 2 plays. Nick Saban slapping his head. You know, he's got a quarterback, 25-year-old guy there. We got to get the play to him early enough, get to the line of scrimmage, get it snapped. You can't have penalties like that this late in key ball games.
Booty under center, Tofield alone back. First and goal now from the 14. Bama showing blitz. Cofield trying to dance through traffic and is thrown back at the 16-yard line. He may have lost a yard, and the clock will run.
You know what that play actually does, Craig, when they have to bring the ball back? You lose the momentum. The crowd, it's like sticking a pin in a balloon. And maybe more importantly, now your play calling becomes much different than it would have in 1st and 10, and you start thinking, gosh, can we even kick a field goal from here? You know, we missed a chip shot. We couldn't even make an extra point. That negative, what do they call it, stinking thinking starts coming in.
Well put. Second down and goal. Booty steps up and throws incomplete. Wanted Robert Royal is tight end again, a big target at 6'5", who pulled down the last touchdown. 3rd down and goal.
Alabama, when they woke up, when they got some offense going, the defense said, finally. And they have played much better defensively. Defensively, you've got to play with discipline, and you've got to play with passion.
3rd down tries today for LSU, 5 of 13, but only 1 of 5 this half. Booty will step back into the shotgun. 3rd down and goal. Booty throws sideline, caught and dropped. Bailey, good coverage, wrapping up Myers.
Very interesting play call there. That's a conservative play call from Jimbo Fisher. The thinking had to be, we can complete this ball. It'll get us closer for a field goal. We're struggling getting it in anyway, and perhaps we could slip a tackle. But that's a low percentage play to convert that 3rd down.
This will be a 28-yard attempt. John Corbello. What's going through his mind after having the point after block? High snap, the kick is away. And good from 28. LSU 23, Alabama 21.
We are no longer the underdog. We're not a small company or a struggling upstart. We're not Davids, they're not Goliaths. You could say we've succeeded, and in doing so, we created something bigger than a car. Bigger than a factory. Bigger than us. And best of all, we're not done creating.
I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music plays.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
I told you this would work.
Good call, Dave. Excellent venue. Who do you think's getting married anywhere?
Guys, someone's coming.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing? Are you here with the bride or the groom?
The groom.
Bride.
Bride.
Nice to meet you.
Guys, I think they're on to us.
Hey, I think they're onto us.
Having one on the house? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
You think they're on to us?
While every cop in D.C. is backing up the FBI, a serial killer makes his move.
Anything out of the ordinary, he's going to start shooting.
The District, all new CBS tonight.
LSU by 2 because Josh Booty, a great job of catching a high snap, getting it down, laces turn. Corbello can make it if you hold out the defense.
And Dean, that field goal was set up by some hard licks by that LSU defense. Loose ball and diving on the pile for the recovery, Ryan Clark. And then Corbello connects from 28 yards.
Still, Alabama got out of that with LSU not getting the 7 that it looked like they would. 2-point difference. Doesn't take a genius. Field goal is all it takes.
Boy, short kick. It took a ride down the sideline and out of bounds at the 4.
We've got a fight on the 8-yard line.
Well, peacemakers try to work their way in. And tonight on CBS begins with Paul Sorvino and Ellen Bernstein in the new drama, That's Life. Then Chuck Norris stars as Walker, Texas Ranger, followed by Craig T. Nelson in the new hit drama, The District. It's all here tonight on CBS. That ball bounces out of bounds around the 4, and they'll bring it back up to the 35. 8:12 left, 2-point game. LSU in Death Valley up on top of Alabama.
All right, let's see if Nick Saban and the defensive staff will be able to plug up some holes here. His guys have been manhandled on the scoring drive from Alabama up front. And Alabama won't change its attack. Big Money says run.
Big Money's right. Second effort, Galloway. But LSU continues their pursuit. Lionel Thomas.
Well, and you know, Lionel Thomas is a guy wearing number 28. So you're getting safeties into the running game. And that's what LSU is doing. They've decided that until Andrew Zhao proves that he can beat them throwing the ball, and until Alabama even attempts the pass, they're going to get their safeties more involved in the running game.
The officials called timeout as Galloway is helped off the field, and he's been a workhorse for the Crimson Tide. 22 carries, 134 yards, and the touchdown.
One of our favorites bowed out today. Don Nehlen,
yes.
West Virginia. Doesn't surprise me. We had them twice this year. What a great man. What a good job he had done throughout his career. Disappointing ending.
Wish our well to Don Nehlen, who will retire at the end of the season at West Virginia. Zhao steps up and throws. Hangs it. Tipped, dropped, incomplete. And Dean, around the country today, stories making headlines. Santana Moss, 4 catches, 159, 2 touchdowns, and that big win for the Hurricanes. Randall, how about 32 carries, 209, and then Don Nehlen.
Yeah, well, Antoine Randall, he's a quarterback, guys. 32 carries, 209 yards. But the story of the day, as far as I'm concerned, is Don Nehlen. One of the all-time great guys, old-school football coach, respected everywhere, former president of the Coaches Association. He's decided to hang it up
at the end of this season. A lot of coaching jobs starting to open up. It's going to be interesting on the offseason. Zhao throws incomplete. He had Myrie. That ball was whipped out there fairly fast, and unable to bring it down was Brandon Myrie.
The play that cost them there was the second down play. Zhao had a receiver in the intermediate area, crossing the middle of the field. He had it. He elected to go deep to his home run threat in Millens, but Millens hasn't hit a home run since I don't remember. Maybe UCLA.
Zhao passing this half, 0 for 5. Bearden will kick to Davis. 7:18 left. LSU up by 2. Good high hanger. Hit the shot. Ball's on the turf. Flags are down. Oh,
Well, you know, Alabama may get this call. I thought when the referee reached in his pocket that it was going to be a shove in the back. You can shove in the back, contrary to what most people think, if it doesn't affect the play. This shove in the back did affect the play. And the shove, of course, came from the LSU man blocking for his return man. Now, this takes a gutsy officiating crew right here, because I guarantee you that discussion going on right there is the one guy saying this is a push illegally by LSU, and this means a lot of ground here.
When Coach Saban kind of snuck out there around the 20 to express his view. As you look at Mike DuBose. The conference continues.
Well, you know,
I like this, though, Dean. I mean, take your time. Let everyone involved get their 2 cents worth in.
Oh, I agree. And I don't like, you know, in this league, you don't have the instant replay. So instant replay would work in this case. But I think in the college game, just call it. You guys are smart enough. They can control the amount of time that they take. Tough call here. I'm saying they go with, I was going to say the home team. They're going with Alabama. And that's the correct call if it goes against LSU.
There is no flag.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I agree with you, Nick. Unbelievable. It's a halo infraction, or it was a push in the back.
Well, Sean Toure, you saw number 33. And again, that's a judgment call.
Yeah. And that is a call that is in the rules book if you're blocked into it. But I would have not have suspected that they would come with that. I would have expected one of the other calls, a push in the back or a halo violation.
Now the conference continues now. It was Aaron DeMond who backs up Robert Davis as a right corner on special teams that gave the bump. And that pushed Sean Toure.
I don't think they've still decided. This call will be pivotal. I mean, whoever gets this call has a very good chance of winning this football game.
Well, let's reset things for you. Dino, LSU 21-20 over Alabama. Tigers with 3 timeouts remaining. Crimson Tide with 2. Rushing yards. Alabama's really come on strong in the second half, and it's been LSU's passing game. The big story as well is Josh Reed for LSU with 8 receptions and 2 touchdowns.
All right, we're going to see it again. It is a halo infraction. The ruling is the LSU player pushed the man into the kicker, so it has to stand. And Alabama says we recover the football, whereas it looks there like LSU clearly recovered. Alabama has its offense out on the field. If they're going to call no call, if the call is no call,
the play remains alive.
Yeah, it remains alive, and Alabama did not appear to recover the football. So, in the end, that appears to be the correct call. Alabama can't complain about not getting the football, Craig.
The play continues on a no call.
Exactly.
So LSU recovered the fumble, and they start at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 with 7:06 remaining. Booty on the play action. Dumps it off to the tight end. Robert Royal huffing and puffing inside the 40. Milo Lewis cut him down around the knees. But a first down, and LSU on the move.
Great play call here by Fisher. You boot, you go backside, and they get roiled. They're big target, wide open, and this guy can haul. I mean, 6'5", as you say. Just maybe the best athlete on this team. He's dropped a few balls this year, but he wasn't about to drop that one.
A 50-yard pass play.
Well, and also, there was an injury on the play. Alabama, Salim Rashid went down.
Under 7 minutes left. On the ground, Davis moving those legs to the 19. Craziness in Death Valley.
Hey, I used to live down here in Louisiana for a brief period of time. This is what it's about. A lot of F, fun, and football, frivolity, and food. Hey, I left out food. That
Most
may be the most
important
important thing.
Cajun cooking.
Give me some crawfish etouffee tonight. That's where we're headed, aren't we?
Timeout called by Alabama. 6:32 to go.
You've got your Unix platform, you've got your NT platform, you've got your PC platform, you've got your PDA platform, and your legacy platform. You've got different companies with different platforms trying to get their platforms to talk to each other. And you've got a whole lot of stressed out, overworked, underpaid, underappreciated human beings who just want the whole thing to make sense by the time they get to the office. That's gonna take some serious software. It's a different kind of world. We need a different kind of software.
Well, we're going to party, they say, like it's 1969. Well, still 6:32 before they can party. LSU up 2 and driving.
Could you party in 69?
Could I or did I?
Well, yeah, you could have, I guess.
A little bit.
Did you?
Not very much.
Don't give your age away. Hey, you know what? Alabama, though, needs to stop LSU. They need to keep them from scoring a touchdown. 3 points, you can go back and win the game with a touchdown.
And remember, the reference to party to 1969, like 1969, they have not beaten Alabama here in Death Valley since 69. Richard Nixon was in the White House.
That was the year Texas beat Arkansas for the national championship in Fayetteville in one of the many games of the century. That's the first thing I think about in 69.
In this quarter, LSU 148. The third quarter was Bama. 23-21 LSU. Second down from the 17.
Back to that play.
Boy, it's the big fella on a hand. Touchdown, Royal.
Well, if it worked one time, you go back and try it again. The boot by Booty. And defense is just trying to play catch-up. Adam Cox.
He dove
way too late.
Yeah, he dove for the feet of Robert Royal. And the tight end takes it in for his second touchdown of the day.
But linebacker Adam Cox sucked in by the boot by Booty.
Covello, the point after. Boy, Josh Booty. I thought it was Josh Reed. He likes Robert Royal. We'll be back.
Guaranteed low prices at the Home Depot mean that you can be confident that you're going to walk into our store and find the best price in town.
If we find a better price anywhere else, we'll beat that price. With no questions asked.
We will match it and then beat it. That's our guarantee, day in and day out.
Everybody says they got the lowest price.
Not only do we have the guaranteed low price, we also have the knowledgeable salespeople on the floor to help you.
We want to be the best price, the best customer service, the best quality product. We want to have the best of everything.
You would be out of your mind if you shop someplace else.
I was home, homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escape, and home, where my music plays.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web all in one place.
LSU 30-21, and late in the fourth quarter, Alabama once again losing its composure, going for the block, but you can't do that, Craig. You can't do that, and Alabama has had too many things like that happen to them this season, including last week. McClintock didn't even get to play in the first half because of a play.
LSU goes 4 plays, 86 yards, second touchdown from Booty to his tight end, Robert Royal.
Alabama self-destructing offensively. I look back at that series when they had the momentum. On first down, procedure penalty. Second down, fumble. This game is about making plays. Alabama's not done it this year. LSU's doing it now. They've done it the past couple of weeks. Couldn't believe a stat I saw. If LSU holds on to win, this would become only the first time since 1988 that they won 3 consecutive conference games in one season. That's an unbelievable number.
No opportunity for the return. Well, let's take you back to some of this, the craziness here in the fourth quarter. This is the fumble. As you see, jumping on the pile is Ryan Clark.
Well, that
helped set up the field goal.
Yeah, that led to 3 points, and here's the controversial call. And it is not a foul if the kicking team is blocked by an opponent within 2 yards of the receiver. That was a proper call in the end. I thought it would go one of 2 ways, but I never thought Alabama would get the football. They had their offense out on the field. They never had possession.
Alabama down by 9. Under 6 minutes left. Zhao sets it up far side. McCadley out of bounds, stops the clock. And Dean, we turn the calendar back November 8th, 1969. This marks the last victory at home over Alabama. The Tide has posted a 14-0-1 mark in Baton Rouge during that span. The drought has lasted through 6 U.S. presidencies over 31 years.
Unbelievable. And they have great tradition here. Not recently. I remember guys like Burt Jones, who was in our booth, and Jim Taylor, and they had Billy Cannon. What a tradition they have here. Billy Casanova, I think, played in that game.
Richard knocked down around the 34-yard line. You know, and just in case this long drought ends, it's Vaseline on the goalpost here.
Alabama's playing left-handed, and what that means is that that's not what they're used to doing. They don't do this as well as what they did earlier. They like to run the football. They haven't shown the ability consistently to throw the ball. So now here they are stuck having to throw the football down by the points that they are by 9.
5 minutes left. Zhao pedals back, throws complete. Tough yards as Millens made the catch. Only the second completion this half for Zhao.
But the thing I don't like about Alabama's passing game is everything seems difficult. You know, they do a lot of things horizontally instead of vertically. And that time, yeah, they got a completion. They made 5 yards, but it was a great throw. It was a great catch. You've got to get people in space better.
3rd down and 5. As you see, Bama 3 of 11 in this game on 3rd down conversions. Myrie tackled, and the surge led by Trev Falk.
Well, a critical play for Alabama, and they stumble a little here. The timing was not exactly right. But it didn't matter because Trev Falk had that one sniffed out. Guys, that's film study. That's understanding what Alabama's going to do. That's being well coached.
For an update on Don Nehlen, let's go back to New York and Tim Brando.
All right, Craig, you mentioned it earlier. West Virginia's Don Nehlen retired after 21 years at West Virginia in the aftermath of the Syracuse loss.
I just felt that it was time for me to go down the pike. And, you know, Sundays are early until late, and, I want to check around and see if there's something else to do. I don't even know how to keep score in a bowling game, for goodness sakes. I don't know how to do anything.
One-shy win of 200. We do know this. Rich Rodriguez, the offensive coordinator at Clemson, fellas, is the favorite to get that job. I'm told it's his if he wants it.
Saw West Virginia twice this year, and you had a strange sense that Don Nehlen was wearing thin.
Yeah, I thought he would quit. I was hoping I was wrong, but I thought he would quit. He doesn't like the criticism that he has received. He feels that he has worked too hard, too long, proven too much for the fans, for the pressure to be the way it is. Some of the things that are going on in the game of college football right now, he is not overly excited about. But he still believes in the game. He just believes it's time for someone else to take over there.
Well, you know what now? It means that Don Nehlen and also Lavelle Edwards at Brigham Young.
Right.
A couple of long-tenured coaches calling it quits here in the year 2000. Zhao on fourth down, throws incomplete. So over on downs, it's going to be LSU football.
Alabama, trying to become a throwing school, really struggles at times, and LSU doing a nice job adjusting defensively. And when you make them go left-handed, you got them right where you want them.
Double tight set. Booty, handoff, up the middle. Right now, LSU just wants the clock to run. I will say this for Alabama, with so much pressure coming into this game, Dean, a terrific job by Mike DuBose and his club. And here's our CBS Sportsline stat of the game: passing yards, LSU 275, Bama held at just 69. For complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
Well, Josh Booty ended up making plays down the stretch. I remember calling it gut time at one time, and he takes it down and scores. Big plays, and Alabama couldn't get there, and you look at the total passing yards, and that tells you a lot. And Alabama cannot stop the clock. No timeouts remaining, and this game is all but done.
Schofield to the 35-yard line. Darius Gilbert made the tackle. It's going to be interesting to see just how Alabama responds down the stretch, because they have to play at Mississippi State next week and then finish up at home, Dean, against Auburn.
Well, they could have won. They could have won the West. They could have gone on to the. And wouldn't that have been an unusual and kind of neat thing for Mike DuBose?
You know, you mentioned how crazy things are. Alabama, LSU, Mississippi State, Auburn, Ole Miss. That's what remains. LSU still with a chance, depending on what happens to Auburn, with a chance to make it into the SEC title game next month.
Yeah, Auburn, if it beats Georgia on the 11th and then beats Alabama, then it will go. It will be the West winner. And the only way for LSU is if Auburn were to stumble and LSU were to win out. Now, this game is not technically over. LSU could be stopped by Alabama. Alabama get the ball back, score, onside kick. But that would be more good things that would have happened to Alabama in 2 minutes than have happened to them in a season.
Brad Smalling is checked in at right tackle for LSU. Booty in trouble, sidesteps with the rush and runs to the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 33.
Good defense. Very good defense. Booty knew better than to put it in the air. He had a man he thought was open, but you couldn't dare put it in the air. Now, what he should have done to stay in bounds.
Stops the clock.
Keep the clock going. Yeah, he should have stayed in bounds.
4th and 4.
Now, Alabama, of course, has blocked one kick, a field goal attempt, almost blocked another, forced a miss. And they will come with some heat here.
Play clock. They milk it down to 0.
Yeah, but they don't really milk it because it wasn't running, but they do use all of the clock. It doesn't really matter for LSU. Well, Alabama's got to find some offense. If Freddie Millens,
time.
Yeah, if Freddie Millens were the Freddie Millens of 1999, you know what? We'd be really excited. And he's the same guy.
Antonio Carter back to receive for Alabama at the 10-yard line. Donnie Jones to punt. Again, whistles.
LSU calls timeout. Nick Saban at the very last second doesn't feel comfortable with how his troops have lined up. Well, how they have pointed to just exactly whom they would block.
And Dean, let's go back and show you what happened. LSU over 11th-ranked Tennessee, September 30, winning a classic battle against the Volunteers. Rohan Davey hitting Robert Royal, who's been a big factor today on the first play of overtime for a 25-yard touchdown, 38-31. Of course, the fans did the rest. The goalpost came tumbling down. I'm not sure it's going to work today.
Well, you know, and then you have the problem at Georgia. Georgia had the hedges go down. I think they had an injury, and there were some problems. Oklahoma had them come down last weekend after beating Nebraska, and there were some pepper spray issues there that were bad. I don't know if they will. Surely they could flood the field, but can you bring it down with all that grease?
I don't know. You couldn't hang on if you had to. You know, we saw the game too, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I think that I don't think that tearing down the goalpost, while it seems a neat thing to do, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think enough is enough.
You get so many fans, and those poles come down in a hurry, or they snap.
Yeah. Well, I think the tougher thing, there's a penalty against Alabama, and that'll be a roughing, and that will mean first down for LSU.
Donnie Jones limping off the field.
Boy, of all the things that you can't do.
Is this just frustration, Alabama?
Well, sure, it's some of that.
5 yards, running into the kicker.
Running?
Penalty is refused. First down.
Okay. Well, running instead of roughing. Roughing is a first down. Alabama gets a slight break and is still alive. But yes, frustration leads to those types of things.
Nick Saban walking. This was a game of, as he called it, trying to jump over the hump here in Baton Rouge.
That's a good call.
Yeah, that was
I was incorrect. That was a good call, 5-yard penalty.
Bama, 1st and 10, 3 wide receiver set. Zhao wants to throw deep, has a man coverage, incomplete. Jason McAdley, the intended receiver.
There have been a lot of deep balls thrown today by Zhao. He goes down the sideline with them. I just haven't seen the vertical stuff in the middle of the field. And I know a quarterback, when you're not comfortable with a system, where you're not really a guy who reads defenses extremely well, makes good decisions, and there are numbers that show you that something's not right, throwing down the middle of the field scares you.
8 of 21. Zhao tries a throw across the middle and complete, and a hard knock around the 35-yard line. Nice catch by Antonio Carter and Ryan Clark, who laid him out. Carter's been battling through a sprained ankle that he suffered against Tennessee.
No timeouts remaining. The only way they stop the clock is by making first down.
Zhao throws.
Boy, that was almost picked up. Yeah.
Well, tonight on CBS begins with Paul Sorvino and Ellen Bernstein in the new drama, That's Life. Chuck Norris then stars as Walker, Texas Ranger, and followed by Craig T. Nelson, the new hit drama, The District. It's all here tonight.
Zhao showing some unusual fervor there in that he gets in the face of his guys. He's a leader, but he's not a guy that really jumps on his guys very much. That time he had a right to. Antonio Carter should have caught that football.
Second down and 10, low snap. Zhao looking downfield, chased out of the pocket. Ball tipped, thrown up, nearly intercepted, incomplete. Zhao staggered a bit.
Well, Andrew has seen guys come at him all day long. He gets a little happy feet here, feels the pressure, and then this is no fun.
Jeremy Lawrence hit him up high.
This season has been one of the most unbelievable seasons of all time for many things that have happened. None more surprising than the demise of Alabama. None.
Incomplete, though the catch made by Carter out of bounds. And today's player of the game, presented by Solomon Smith Barney, is Josh Booty. 18 of 31, 275 yards and the 4 touchdowns. Watch in December when Solomon Smith Barney presents the CBS Sports College Football Player of the Year Award Show. And we give it to Booty. And Dean, the big talk was, can this guy learn the offense? Can he lead? Can he just take what the defense gives him? And today, Josh Booty did exactly that.
You know what he did? He said, I've got to learn how to just look at each play. Quit looking at the scoreboard. Just play one play at a time. Execute that play. And that's what he did today when they really needed it.
Zhao over the middle. Connects to Carter. At the 49 of LSU.
Clock stops.
1:25 remaining.
Andrew Zhao has an arm. He has a strong arm. Sometimes the touch is questionable. Sometimes the accuracy is questionable. Sometimes the decisions are. But this is a talented guy and a player that players can rally around.
Zhao throws.
Can't do that.
And the clock will run.
Can't do that. 5-yard throw and catch when you stay inbounds just doesn't work, and LSU hurting itself here, having to stop the clock because of an apparent injury.
Zhao was limping. As you look at Mike DeBose, you know, it's so strange as we talked to Mike DeBose last night, Dean. Nothing's changed really, he told us, from a year ago. You know, the 99 SEC Coach of the Year, Bama ran off a 10-3 record, the SEC championship. You know, many people inside the school, there was bickering. Some coaches would not talk to one another.
I was just about to say, I think that is the most disappointing thing to have happen. And whether Mike could control it or not, who knows. But a lot of people point back, even Leroy Jordan, to the problems off the field that came about last year, where he was actually penalized. His salary was cut down because of an admitted problem. And that maybe he lost the ability to discipline his players. And then when his coaches had couldn't communicate with each other, when they sometimes wouldn't speak with each other, that was magnified.
Millens makes a nice catch at the 24. Clock at 51 seconds as they set the chains. 1st and 10.
Got to throw it in the end zone.
They spread the field, 4 wide receivers. Zhao from the shotgun, incomplete.
Well, you can throw those outs, but that's only a 4 or 5 yard route because you're not giving your receiver a chance to catch the ball and run. I mean, it's desperation time, Craig. I think you throw the ball either on some type of post or skinny post, or as they call it, a snake route, or you get it into the end zone.
2nd down and 10, 44 seconds left. Zhao, as he's done most of this game, sets up in the shotgun. In motion is Millens. Carter on the hot slant inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
You can't run that play. I'm sorry.
Timeout. Bama. There's no timeout.
No, they don't have any timeouts. They can't run that play. The only way you run that play is you think it's going to get you in the end zone.
Zhao, shotgun, throws, fires, and on a knee, complete is Millens. Now they're going to stop the clock to set the chains. I think they got a first down by a yard, but 3 seconds.
It isn't going to work.
3 seconds were let off the clock before they stopped it.
A lot of great effort.
Now spikes it down to stop the clock.
Well, a lot of what happened to Alabama today is what's happened to them throughout the course of the year. They haven't gotten consistent offense. They have not made big plays when they've needed it. They've not gotten much from Freddie Millens. And silly mistakes, the turnovers, the offsides on a critical drive.
Well, look at Nick Saban. So intense. Why not? This is a game so important to his program. As we mentioned, it's way ahead of schedule, Dean. Way ahead of schedule.
It is, but I think he has some players here. I think that he likes this job because it gives him a chance to recruit in Louisiana because it's a state school. You know, he took this job without even coming down here. His wife came and checked out the place. That tells you how badly he wanted to come down here and take it.
And for Mike DeBose, 2 games remaining in his coaching career at Alabama. He takes on Jackie Sherrill next week at Mississippi State and then returns home against Auburn. And I tell you, next week in Starkville is going to be crazy, in my opinion, because Jackie Sherrill's name has popped up not once, but not twice, but several times since the announcement of Mike DeBose leaving Alabama as a possible successor.
Well, Mike DeBose may be one of those guys who is a great assistant coach, a great defensive coach, maybe a coordinator, but not a head coach. I've seen those, but last year you look at that and say he must have been good. Got the touchdown.
Into the end zone. Hold on, folks. 5 seconds. Crazier things have happened.
No, they haven't.
Oh, yeah, they have.
No, they haven't. End zone look, and Millens comes through with the play on that skinny post we talked about. Andrews now finds it, throws it in the only place he can for his man to have a chance at it.
Neil Thomas will try the extra point.
Yeah, the extra point doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 at this point. It's
a 2-point game. 2-point game with 7 seconds left. And obviously, Dean, put yourself in both coaches. I'm sure, I mean, come on. Mike DeBose, going to be an onside kick.
Right. Look at Nick Saban. Now, he is known as a grinder. You can't get a better look from Nick Saban than that. Oh, it's going to be tough in the locker room. Okay, for Alabama to pull off the biggest miracle in the history of mankind, what has to happen is what just happened, which is pretty rare, but they would also have to recover an onside kick very quickly, and then they could get off a play because the clock would stop on the onside kick. Sometimes I've seen teams, only one time, I've seen a team bounce it off someone and the team kicking it actually catch it on the run and go in for a touchdown.
It will have to be some amazing razzle-dazzle indeed. 7 seconds left, 2-point game. LSU trying to beat Alabama for the first time in Baton Rouge since 1969. And they're 7 seconds away.
What a great, great night for football. What a great setting. Wasn't that a beautiful shot? It has been wonderful to be here. LSU's on the right track. You know what?
I know you talked about players. It's young. They're linebacking for all sophomores defensively for LSU. There's the onside kick. It's loose. Covered up. LSU has it.
The streak is over.
Robert Royal recovered for LSU. Nick Saban will jump to 6-3, bowl eligible.
Yeah, that's good for him. Very good for him. They've had the luxury of playing 7 games at home. That's helped them. What a wonderful place. What a home field advantage this is. Alabama's last chance. It's a good kick. That's all you can do. The good hands people take care of it.
Booty on a knee. He ought to take that ball. Tremendous effort by Josh Booty. Nick Saban 6-3, runs across to meet Mike DeBose. So for Dean Blevins, this is Craig Bullerjack saying so long from Tiger Stadium, where our final score is LSU 30, Alabama 28. Tonight on CBS begins with That's Life, followed by Walker, Texas Ranger, and the District. They're trying to bring the goalpost down.
What wins, the students or the grease?
This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.